Well, let's hope those are the right buttons.
I think they are.
I think so, too.
I have full faith.
You have full faith that I did it right?
Of course I do. You're a professional.
How do you always find a studio that actually works when you're on the road? When I'm away, I can never find a place to broadcast.
Well, they hooked me up good. I'm in Chicago this morning, and they found a radio station, AM 1160. Hope for Your Life is where I'm broadcasting out of this morning in Chi-Town, in Chicagoland.
Oh, okay. And Florentine's in studio with us. Jim is here.
I would know because they still have refused to set up a webcam. And all you have to do is set up an external webcam so I can see, and they've refused.
Why won't they do that?
I don't know. They don't worry about that. So I can see you off-centered, by the way, in like the corner of the camera, but I can't see Florentine. But Jim, it's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, well, I look the same, so you don't really need to see me. It doesn't matter.
You're not missing a lot, but I mean, it's still nice to know where
I'm still hovering around a 5, on a scale of 1 to 10, so...
All right. Well, you keep yourself in good shape, so it's never a disappointment. But yeah, it's been good. They did a good job. They found a spot in Chicago, and this
it's
station
funny, man. Like 10
out.
years ago, there's no way like regular radio would help out satellite radio with that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "There's no way we're not, supporting that. That's our competition. They would never let you broadcast out of there."
They wouldn't. It was so crazy too. I remember when the satellite first started advertising on regular radio was like 2002, because on O&A, the ads would come up, and I remember Opie saying, "Why are we doing this? We're reading for the competition." But they took the ads anyway, and eventually they stopped taking the ads once they started getting a lot of subscriptions. But now they're back to like not caring.
And didn't you have problems on the road with regular radio when you were just on XM at the time?
Yeah, they didn't want me to mention. Don't mention that you're on satellite. Now they don't care.
Wow.
Now they all want to know what it's like. Like, hey, so they have any slots? They're all like looking for places to come because doing regular radio is kind of brutal.
That's so funny though that it would be like if you were on network TV and you were doing like those local morning shows and you had a show on cable. And they were like, "No, don't tell anybody about the cable show. That's our competition. People will realize if they pay a little bit, they'll get better quality stuff. We don't want them to know."
Yeah. Well, not necessarily better quality stuff, usually. I know Travis is now fucking, I've gotten, Travis is into Succession, and,
Into it is a little bit of a stretch.
The voice text that you sent over the weekend, I gotta find it here, was infuriating. I can't even...
you watch it, Jim?
What?
Succession?
I watched the first episode. I was confused. I watched the second, and I got annoyed, and I just canceled my HBO. So I gave it an episode and a half, and I'm like, I'm out.
It's not great, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
Sam,
And
I
it's like,
have it if
wait
you
till
can't
season
find
2. I don't want to wait till season 2. That's 12 hours of my time.
Yeah,
by the
I
time
saw
get to
season
season
2.
I mean, this is... So, like, I think this... Yeah. We're texting not about Succession. We're texting about the show. Like, first it's, here's the clip of Vincent Pastore talking about The Sopranos, and then Travis texts in and goes, "This guest wants to do the show," and then Jim chimes in and sends this. Hopefully it'll play.
Yeah, let's see if we can talk to him about the Earth. If it's flat, we can drive off it. Maybe we can just do that. Do something really quirky and drive off the Earth, huh?
Dad? Dad, the Earth's not flat, Dad.
Ugh.
He's doing the brothers, and then he starts yelling "fuck off" as the dad, and then Jess goes, because we're still a few episodes away from ending season 2.
Oh, you're not even through. I'm ahead. I finished season 2. You're not even ahead.
I know, because you're hate watching now, but that's the show that I watch with my wife. So Jess goes, "Oh, do you want to finish Succession tonight?" And I'll go, "I don't. No, I don't think I do," because now every character that comes on the screen, Shaban's husband, who's like the son-in-law, who just wants to be accepted by the family. Your quote on the show, when I said, all he wants to do is be accepted by the family, and you responded with, "Yeah, why doesn't he just wear it on a T-shirt?" It's like, now it's all I can think about when I see him.
Oh, so you weren't crazy about it?
No, and Sam and Dumb Rob, they were fucking, they were raving about this show, and at the Cellar, everybody was talking about it, fucking Rogel and Michelle Wolf, and they're all saying how great this show is, so I'm like, all right, I gotta watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, It was really bugging. So now my job is to turn everyone against it.
Right, but you sat through it just hoping that it was going to get better.
Yeah,
Watch it
season
to
2
the
is
end.
better than season 1, but I still had a lot of problems with it. But all the actors are good.
Yeah.
Like it's not that they're shitty actors. I just don't like the way it's written. It's like written like a network. It's not written like an HBO show.
But it's those little flaws that are like you could look past them, but once you point them out, they're just there.
Dude,
And
they literally take anything interesting happening, they skip
Yeah.
over to get to some dumb thing about the character. Like there's some really interesting piece of action about to happen, or this moment's supposed to be between these two characters. All of a sudden, they go to dumb Greg, and he's like, I don't know. But what the fuck are you guys doing? They have to get each guy the certain amount of screen time.
Yeah.
It's really terrible.
So the show, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is about this like a guy who runs this billion-dollar media conglomerate, like richest dude in the world guy, and his family. And the basic premise is that he's an old man. He's got three grown kids.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of vying for who's going to be the one that takes over the company.
And we're supposed to
And-
get involved in the drama and care as to which one of them takes over.
Well, ideally, I think you would, hope that you would put on a television show where people care about the characters. Sure.
Not really.
No.
When I watch shows, I really don't care about them too much. If they
None of
died,
them?
and I might feel bad. No, I don't. Not really.
Oh.
I'm like, I hope they're going to get their shit together. It depends on what the writers wrote. So,
Well, what fictional show, Florentine, do you like?
well,
Because
I watched The Affair on Showtime, and that one annoyed me too. Like the first season was pretty good, and the second one, and then I got to watch this whole thing, and it just annoyed me through season 5.
Did it start getting annoying?
Yeah, and so did Homeland on Showtime.
Yeah, oh,
that one got really bad.
Dude,
Yeah.
season 1 was good.
Yep.
And then it lost me when he goes to when he walks in with a bomb belt to blow up the president.
Right,
But his
they're in-
dumb daughter talks him out of it.
Yeah, they're in the room. They're in the.
Wasn't
yeah, I
that
know.
this-
And wait, you didn't even get to like season 3, season 4,
No.
when the head of the CIA or something is captured by the Taliban. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Okay.
Oh, is he really? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What's his name? Abu Nasir.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't
So-
remember if it was Homeland or if it was House of Cards. I think it was Homeland, where the storyline was that the president had a box, and if you broke into the box and pushed the button, he would have a heart attack.
That wasn't Homeland.
No.
Well, maybe unless later season.
No, might have
he
been
had
later.
pills, and the vice president had pills that he needed to take for his heart. And then he was having a heart attack, and Brody looked at him and said, "No, fuck off."
I wish that wasn't on your soundboard. Because that's the thing, Florentine. Like, you've only seen an episode and a half or 2 episodes of Succession, but that's the sound of the patriarch of the family who's in charge. And the first couple episodes, he tells people to fuck off, and that's fine. Like, he's an angry guy, he's an executive, he's got boss energy, but you realize as you're going through the show that it's his catchphrase. Like,
And this
by
is what he
episode-
says.
Yeah, episode 4 or 5.
It's not only his catchphrase; it's everybody's saying it all the fucking time.
Did you notice that?
All the time.
But Travis, you wouldn't have noticed that if it wasn't for goddamn Norton.
No, but I don't mind it because it shows off just like lazy writing.
Isn't it lazy
know.
writing? Don't
Dude,
they go into from interesting things into bullshit nonsense?
By the 3rd episode, I'm like, oh, they're trying to create a catchphrase because
Fuck off.
like people are hanging up the phone saying, oh no, fuck off, and just ending meetings saying fuck off. Like, no.
Yeah, there's no need to do it, right?
It's my favorite
really
of the show
are.
just because of your impression.
It's terrible.
Was I wrong about him?
Nope. Nope. You're not wrong
You know
about
how-
anything.
You know how you know you weren't wrong about him? You just started doing the impressions last week without saying what they were. And I immediately just told you to stop because I knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, it's some shows you watch after everybody talks about it. You're like, this is just not what I. Come on,
Yeah.
we're better than this.
I was hoping that it was going to be great.
I was too, because they were raving about it. So many guys I know are talking about it. Oh, it's so good, and I'm like, this? Like the dialogue is it's awful.
I mean, it's a fun show.
It's not a fun show. The dialogue could be, because it could be better. There's a couple of things, I won't blow season 2, but there's a couple of things that were happening that I was like, I'm interested in this. And they jump away from it to go to some, dad, this fucking idiot in the car.
Right.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
you know, it's a very fragile relationship, the father-son dynamic. So, Florentine, you've listed 2 shows that you don't like. You don't sit
No,
there.
usually it's better these most of these things just end in 1 or 2 seasons. That's it. Once they get into season 3, season 4, besides like The Wire was probably the best show I've ever seen.
Or Sopranos.
Yeah, I'd give The Wire the nod over Sopranos, I think. For consistency.
But even The Wire, like, they ended at season, 5?
Season 5.
Yeah.
So they didn't go too long.
But a lot of them, it's just better to go season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
Fargo,
Brits-
the TV series, season 1 with Billy Bob Thornton was phenomenal. Season 2 was okay, and then season 3 was just shit.
Who's in season 3?
I don't remember who was in season 3, but
Jesse
season
Plemons? Or is
No,
he
I think
season 2?
no. Season 2 was Jesse Plemons. I love season 2 as well. I like
season 1 was unbelievable. With
Season
Billy
1
Bob.
was-
And
it
Martin, what was it? Was that also Martin Freeman? Yeah.
Yeah, season 1 was. Season 1 was like one of the best seasons of TV ever. Season 2 of Fargo, it was really good. But yeah, I don't even think I watched season 3. That was the one with Ewan McGregor playing 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Is he really?
Yeah.
How
he
was it,
played.
Rob?
He played twin brothers. I thought it was good. I thought Ewan McGregor was really good, but compared to 1 and 2, it was not
Was he-
good.
Better in Fargo season 3 or Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge.
Okay, good. Because I like when he sings and stuff.
I thought season 2 was great. That
I thought
black
season
cowboy
2 was
guy,
great,
he was
too, yeah.
amazing.
In what, Fargo?
Yeah, in season 2.
I don't
Fargo.
remember it. I don't
Season
remember
1
it.
is one of the best seasons of television
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, definitely. But season 2 is really, really good too.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely. But yeah,
but you're
season-
right. Yeah, season 3.
I think he did even a 4.
They're doing 4 with Chris Rock.
They're doing
Right.
4 now. Yeah,
Chris Rock's in
Which
it?
Yeah, he's starring in it.
All right.
They do it good though because they don't. It's one of those. I forget what the word is, but it's not like the seasons standalone.
It's a limited series.
It's a limited series, but it's also like each season is basically its own show. So they don't try
it's
to
an
like
anthology.
piggyback. Anthology series, like American Horror Story. What I miss?
You missed the fucking Rob is trying to hook up a GoPro on a stick, and
Yeah.
you thought he was clever, and it just fell on his head, and he made me happy.
Just bonked him right on the head.
Yeah, they caught that. I hope the camera
sure did.
The camera catches
Oh
everything.
yeah, oh yeah. Rob was quick to send out the Jim Norton smacking himself in the face with headphones.
Sure.
I can't wait to see the GoPro bouncing off that empty head of his.
Yeah, it just fell on him. I don't know why it made me so happy.
I mean, of course, I know exactly why it made you so happy. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah, it did. It brought me joy. Fuck, I was gonna ask something. That totally made me forget it when I watched that fall on him. God damn it. Anyway, I'm happy it happened.
Yeah.
I do want to hear one thing. I did not see the LeBron farting, and everybody's talking about it the minute I
Dude,
walked in.
I'm
It fell
so
again
glad.
too.
You saying Rob's not the clever boy he thought he was?
No, not at all. He's trying to hook something up with like a little arm that will grab a ledge, and
Yeah.
it's just not working.
He's not our best boy.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I'm first of all, I'm really glad you haven't seen it. And second of all, I was watching the video last night. I got home from I'm here in Chicago because was doing Survivor Series last night, and I was doing NXT Takeover the night before. But I got home last night.
What did you
and I
do
was
with
just
Vince,
kinda-
by the way? I saw your picture.
With Vince? No, that wasn't Vince. That was JBL.
Oh, I saw a picture. I thought that was Vince. Okay.
Yeah, no, me and JBL hosted on the kickoff show of Survivor Series last night, and JBL said that he was excited because it was the first time he's done something in wrestling where he's not the most hated person that he's doing broadcasting with. I was trending again because the wrestling fans were so pissed at me.
You're literally more disliked than Prince Andrew.
We were in Chicago on Saturday, me, Voss, and Bobby Kelly in Bennington, and Sunday, me and Voss in the Chicago airport, O'Hare. And there was a wrestler. I don't know who he was, but you could tell he was. And Voss goes, he must be a wrestler. And he's walking next to him. He goes, I'm going to talk to him. I go, leave the guy alone. And Voss just goes, did you win your match?
Oh my!
And the guy, he didn't even look. He just goes, I didn't do anything today, and he just kept walking and just kept walking straight. I go, Voss, that's what you would have said to somebody. If said, how was the comedy show last night?
Yeah.
He just goes, I didn't do anything today, and he just kept walking.
And he'd be honest.
I'm not sure who. It looked like the Undertaker, but it wasn't the Undertaker. It was somebody.
Oh, so did you win your match?
Yeah,
What an
did you win
idiot's
your
question.
match? He just wanted it left alone.
It really is a dumb question.
But
Yeah.
Voss would be totally annoyed by any comic coming up, any fan coming up to him. How was the show last night?
Yeah, how was it?
Though I didn't
Yeah,
have a show.
It would
And
be
that
like
was
if
it.
Voss, if somebody came up to Voss in the airport, like, "Oh, Rich Voss, what was your favorite joke that you told last night?" Like what? Voss is gonna walk through an airport and tell his joke?
No, he doesn't even do it in a comedy club. I thought that picture was you and Vince. It looks like him.
Yeah, well, JBL was in a suit and he got a haircut, so he flew in for it. And they turned it wasn't for Survivor Series, but for the night before on Saturday, when we did the pre-show for the first time, they turned the house mic on, so when we were doing the show for TV, the arena could hear us. And every time I talked, booze rained down on me.
That's great. I want to get that button.
You do?
Yeah. So can we do it in here? Yeah, they didn't like you?
No. They were furious with what I was saying. Just furious. But when I got home to the hotel last night, I was going through the videos.
Did you get any
and
pussy?
Jim, that's really that's a confidential thing. You know, zip codes. You know.
Does that mean yes?
No, of course it means no. Yeah, I'm here for the wrestling show. Just all the wrestling groupies came back to my room with me.
One of them would fuck you.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I got to make a better effort then.
Yeah, probably not one of the slimmer ones.
You're saying it was probably somebody that maybe attempted a few people, got a couple turndowns, and old faithful Sam Roberts is there waiting.
Yeah. You see her walk
Nice.
out of Mick Foley's hotel room, fucking wiping ass hairs off her mouth.
I get
I can
Cactus
see Sam
Jack.
getting one of the moms.
Yeah.
Mom brings the kids there.
Absolutely.
You think I'm going to get Mankind sloppy seconds?
Yeah. But not even the ones that would have sex with him, just the ones that would eat his ass while he's on the couch.
But as I got home, I was looking at the videos and stuff, and I got so happy that Florentine specifically was going to be in studio today, because I don't know, like, at this point, how do you feel about LeBron James? Florentine.
He's one of the best basketball players of all time, but a complete fraud.
He
The
is,
rest of
right?
His life, yeah.
Did you like how he handled the China thing?
No, he's just an idiot. He's just what do I got to do? I got to get off a plane in San Antonio, put a Beto hat on because Beto was hot at that moment. He doesn't know nothing about anything.
Yeah.
He just fucking
Right,
toes
except
the
basketball.
line. Except
Yeah.
so basketball, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a great player.
He's amazing.
I feel like after you watch this clip, you're going to not even worry about any of the China stuff anymore. You're going to have an entirely new respect for him, because he was walking with like some teammates or friends or whoever he was with, and some fans tried to stop him for an autograph, and his response is so well timed. There's a sound to it. There's a physicality to it. So you know it wasn't. There's no mistaking exactly what happened. It was. I really think you're going to enjoy it, Florentine.
All right.
We're huge fans. Good luck tomorrow at the game, guys.
Go Zaire. And
We're big fans.
Ronnie James.
That was a nice loud fart. That's why I fucking can't stand fucking basketball players. Like, there's like 2 or 3
What?
guys they can't sign a fucking autograph for them.
You see him lift up his leg?
Yeah, he farted. The fart was great.
Yeah. Look, if you're going to turn down an autograph, that's the way to
Ugh.
do it.
That's everything I hate about athletes right there.
Yeah.
What?
No, it is good.
The Gasser was great.
That they fart instead of signing? I mean, I figured that
He
you'd
should have
sit there
signed
and-
after. If you're gonna fart, at least sign.
No, I mean, that's it. That's the memory that he's left you with. He's crop dusting you instead.
They're an empty parking lot. There's only 2 guys there. It's not like there's a big crowd.
Yeah, it's not like there's 30 people there. There's really hardly anybody there. Fucking 4 dicks. They just get back in their truck. Fuck them.
Breaking wind on his fans.
Jim, do you like that Taco Tuesday thing he does?
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
I've heard. I mean, I've heard it, but I couldn't.
Oof.
It sounds fun. What's Taco Tuesday, Florentine?
I don't know. Pull up a clip of it, and it's self-explanatory.
Is it something he does on social media just to
Yeah.
keep people engaged?
Yeah, just every Tuesday on
okay.
Instagram or whatever.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm just sure what Jim thinks of it. I want to see what I'm curious.
Look, I love when celebrities keep their fan bases engaged. I think it's great.
Well, he wanted to trademark Taco Tuesday, but he got
Like
turned
he's
down.
the first.
Yeah.
He's the first person who's ever said Taco
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
right? That's like me trademarking Thirsty Thursday. Like, yeah, it.
Troy's looking for it on Instagram.
Well, just put a video for it.
Or if you just
Taco
Google.
Tuesday, because
Did you Google LeBron Taco Tuesday?
Don't miss Black Friday savings at Bass.
I
Oh
just didn't
boy,
listen
now.
to his Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Troy's
Google it.
trying to sneak some commercials
He does
into the
this
show.
pretty much like every Tuesday.
Taco
So,
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Do we have to
posts
pay
this.
LeBron if we say Taco Tuesday?
No, because he didn't get the trademark.
Oh, thank
Because
God.
it's been around for a while.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I guess they realized.
LeBron wasn't the first?
Yeah, he's a morning radio show in 1988.
He makes all okay. He makes all of his friends do it too. Like if they're around and you know they don't want to, they're just annoyed by it, or
Yeah, it's him.
or they have to because they're hanging around LeBron.
You think LeBron it makes his friend? You think LeBron's friends just hang out with him because he's rich and he's LeBron?
Of course, and then they have to participate, and you could tell that they don't want to. They wouldn't do it if it wasn't LeBron.
He just doesn't seem like a nice person at all.
No.
He's just convinced that he's funny though because he's got people around him that have to laugh at his chicanery.
Like Shaq seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He at least, but LeBron, there's nothing. I've met him once. He was okay to me when I met him, but watching him interact with other people, the time I've seen him, he just wasn't
No,
nice.
Shaq doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah.
Remember we were at that train wreck premiere, Amy's movie, and LeBron was there, and we were trying to get a picture with him. I remember we did, and then we couldn't get near, and he's
We didn't get near him, yeah.
So we were like 10 feet away, and we had Jonathan taking it, like so he was in the background of the picture, and he knew what we were doing. He kept turning away. He kept looking down. I respected that he did that.
Yeah, I
He's like,
didn't
these
care.
two assholes. I know what they're doing.
I already got one, so I didn't care.
Right, he kept putting his head down in every picture.
So when he was putting his head down, did you stop and go, "Oh, he's a little uncomfortable with it. We don't need it."
Well,
No,
he
we
wasn't
just-
even that close to us.
He wasn't that close. He was probably like 10 feet behind us in like a
But you
VIP
just-
section. We were trying to get him in the background of the shot,
Yeah.
and he
But
knew
you
what we were
decided
doing.
You decided to keep going anyway.
We did it probably like 3 times,
we-
and he never looked once. Just ruined every picture, and I respected him for that.
That was Tavern on the Green. That's a mob scene. Whenever there's a premiere of Tavern on the Green, Sam, that's where we went. It's fucking.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
you can't
remember.
get anything done. It's completely crowded. You know.
Yeah.
I was at that train wreck thing at Tavern on the Green too. I remember. Yeah, he was surrounded by everybody. But you know what? I mean, Shaq doesn't take himself as seriously, but he's also not as good at basketball. Maybe if you're that good at basketball, you can't be a nice person.
Maybe. Yeah. Jordan is difficult. Abdul-Jabbar is difficult. Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if you're one of the best, you have to be a dickhead. It just goes in the DNA. I
Well,
don't know.
none of them did. The other 2 guys didn't do Taco Tuesday though. So
No, they didn't.
Oh, so you're saying they're not
Magic
maybe not
Johnson
as-
definitely didn't do it.
All right, I'd like to see Taco Tuesday because maybe it's something we can get on board with.
Is being set. Tonight, at the main event, live,
What's he doing?
October 1st,
Is that his house?
yeah.
Oh my God.
on this beautiful Tuesday. What do we have?
By the way, can you point when you're walking around like with his phone, you see what a giant he is, and what he sees like he looks down on everybody he's walking. It's a really weird perspective to have.
Yeah.
I would like to be 7'3".
Yeah, he probably never had to worry about his hairline until the TV camera started picking it up because nobody saw him from above.
Yeah. Plus, he probably didn't plan on having to do it when he was 22.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Wow. How much do we have?
What's he doing? I don't understand.
He's going around to his different family members, people at his place.
Yeah.
Dinner's getting served, and there's a bunch of taco shit laying around.
Yeah, but he's just
And
like
he's setting it up.
it's horrible improv.
Yeah.
Not that he's supposed to be an improv master because I'm not a good basketball player, but
But you're also not on Instagram doing basketball videos.
it's really bad.
What is today? You know what it is! It's Taco Tuesday! Bryce, what is it?
How, by the way, that thing he just did where he's filming and he turns the camera around, how the fuck did he do that?
What did he
While
do?
he's filming.
Do that on Instagram.
It's on Instagram. You can do it
Oh,
while you're
okay.
on Instagram.
With
Yeah.
the stories, but you can't do it on just the regular video.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Zuri, what is it? Austin, what is it? Taco Tuesday. Ashley, what is it? Ramos, what is it?
It's a lot of people.
D, what is it?
Taco Tuesday.
Unless Savannah, what is it? Savannah,
I know what it is.
what is it? Oh, hey, Miss Courtney. What is it? Oh, we missed some. She said, "I am good."
Is this just LeBron
Dina!
kind of? Is he just celebrating the fact that he's doing something normal?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like
that
making
that
a-
annoys me less actually. That video because he's just hanging out with his family.
Yeah, but he usually does it with like his buddies that are over. But he has to do it every Tuesday, and then I think probably every Tuesday or every other Tuesday he does it with his buddies hanging out. Did they make him do it?
I don't like that they have to sing it, but
Yeah, like it would be different if you saw Florentine doing that with his kid. It'd be like, oh, I guess that's what they do on Tuesdays. He's
Yeah.
got a little kid, like that's okay. But if it was Florentine and then he was like making you and Voss and Phil Selman do it, you'd be like, what is he doing, torturing his friends?
just watching Voss try to say it would be worth it.
Yeah, no, that's an awful thing to do with grown people.
It's less annoying because it's his family. Like I'm less irritated with that than I am at watching other stuff. That's his
But I
family.
do-
It's his family.
I do think it's a thing where
The kid makes
like,
the kids happy. They giggle. All right.
he lives this lifestyle of, one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
And so when he does normal shit, it's like, oh my God, this is content. We got to get it up. This is something crazy. Can you believe I'm just eating tacos like a normal human being?
Yeah, and then you make it a thing.
Yeah, it's a
You know
it
who's really
becomes a
good?
thing.
I was watching The Rock's Instagram coming in. Him and Danny DeVito crashed some wedding. Had 10 million views.
It's the greatest.
Literally, The Rock's Instagram gets more views than fucking a late night television show appearance.
Yeah. The Rock understands content.
Yeah, he's great. They're promoting Jumanji 2. Him and Kevin and Danny DeVito and Danny
Dude,
Glover. And the fucking videos, they're getting 5 million views. They're really smart the way his social media is just great, man.
Well, I'm sure that he has some kind of deal when he does a movie. Like, I'm sure that their studio is paying huge amounts of money for him to do those Instagram videos because, and this, I guess it's just because I don't watch as much regular TV as I used to, but I haven't not seen anything about Jumanji 2 except the reason I know it's coming out is because of his Instagram account and Kevin Hart's Instagram account.
You know what? You're right. I wonder if they save a lot of money on advertising because they pay these guys to do it on social media, and they'll go on and do a few late night appearances, and they'll get it out that way, and then on social media.
I bet they spend a similar amount, except they just spend it on these stars. Like, I bet people like Kevin Hart and The Rock are smart enough to know that when they post those Instagram videos, it's worth millions of
Do you
dollars.
think it's built in their contract?
Oh,
that they have
God,
to
yeah,
do
absolutely, yeah.
So many
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter posts about it and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
Definitely.
is. Especially, I mean, The Rock's got over 150 million followers. It's a lot of people
Yeah.
to talk to. It's half the
Yeah.
country.
I mean, I know people want to believe it, but I don't think that him and Danny DeVito are just crashing weddings on Instagram for fun just because they're hanging.
No, but the way they do it, the way the video did it, was like, it was fairly well. Like, of course, they're mic'd. Like, you know that they're, but they shoot it a certain way, and the wedding people are obviously kind of know that they're coming in, but are happy. You
Right.
know?
It's great. I love it. I love it, but I also, I mean, I like the idea of the advertising money going back to creative people like The Rock instead of, just trying to plaster as many billboards up as they can.
I agree. Is Cabo St. Lucas nice, by the way, in Mexico?
2 streets are nice.
Is that it? Oh,
Yeah.
You've been there, huh?
Yeah, I've been there.
How is it going from the airport to the fucking hotel?
It's not bad. I think it's like a 45-minute ride
Oh.
from the airport.
Why do you ask
But
about
little
Cabo San
downtown is
Lucas?
kind of shitty. But then I guess the outskirts where all the famous people hang is probably nice. But in the town, it's not. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it.
Because Mexico just fucking. I haven't been there since I went to. I did spring break in 2003 for MTV, which was. I was too old then even to be fucking doing that. But is there a place in Mexico I could go? That's it's tropical
that where
and
they-
nice.
Is that where they were?
They went to yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why Mexico came up. I didn't realize that that's where the wedding was. Or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. They're showing pictures. That's where they are. But it kind of looked nice. I'm like, I bet that's a nice resort.
Look at that.
Are you starting to come around on your fear of Mexico?
No, not at all. It's not even. It's a fear, but it's also common sense. It's like I won't go to fucking. Where else is there problems? Is it the Dominican Republic? Everybody's getting the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah,
Well-
but Hot Dog says that those are misleading statistics. Of course, Hot Dog is Dominican, but he says
not.
he says those are misleading. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
So Cabo, there hasn't been any problems in Cabo yet, but Cancun, right outside of Cancun, and the beaches, all the, Acapulco, all that stuff. It's not safe to go to.
It's not, right? Because you got to get. Plus, if the cartels want to take over those places, they can.
Yeah,
There's no one's going to stop
they don't
them.
care about the tourism in Mexico. They don't give a shit about.
They don't
that.
give a shit.
Yeah.
No, if they have to make a statement to the government, why not do it with tourists?
Yeah, and the cops are always good about keeping that shit out of the big places like Cancun and stuff. But now, people getting shot right on the beach right outside of Cancun and shit like that, like tourists and stuff. So
You got to stay on the
Well, it all-
resort.
It depends on where
Yeah.
the money's coming from, right? Like it used to be, the most money was coming from tourism. Now, if there's more drug money coming in than tourism money, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah. Plus, they don't care. They really don't care about the tourism. So if they want to fuck things up and make a statement, that just scares
You mean
me
the
to do that.
cartels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't. I mean, the resorts are nice, but they're only nice because they're letting them be nice.
They allow it to be so.
They're allowing it to be nice. They've decided not to go and shoot up a resort yet, but they will
Yes.
eventually.
Well, hopefully, that's not where Prince Andrew decides to make his new residence.
I feel terrible for the prince. And by the way, what am I going to do with the gift I got him for his 60th birthday? Since they're not going to be throwing his birthday party. The
Jim
Queen's
Norton-
canceled his birthday party.
Jim Norton was right again. Of course, last week we had the time of our lives watching the Prince Andrew interview. Did you see Prince Andrew's interview on BBC, Florentine?
yeah,
It was
Yeah.
the greatest thing ever.
Kept hoping my
So
name
we-
wouldn't come up.
We watched the disaster of an interview, and just painstakingly went through everything. And then Jim Norton, you were the first one to say he's going to be stripped of his duties at the royal family.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, first story came out. Well, okay, so Wednesday, the story that came out was that the Queen, Queen Elizabeth, supported Prince Andrew.
100%.
100%. Clearly, she had not seen the interview.
Yeah.
But said she supported her son, Prince Andrew, and that everything was fine and it was all good. And within 24 hours, one story comes out where Prince Andrew says, I'm thinking about doing a second interview to clear up what happened in the first interview. And immediately after that, the story is Prince Andrew is being removed from his public royal duties.
Well, he said he stepped aside. They let him step aside.
Right.
Everybody knew the fucking Queen kicked him in the dick and threw him out. But he said, no, I'm going to step aside from all of my charity work to clear this mess up. Of course, I'm going to work with the FBI. It was disastrous. Well, they fired his secretary because she talked him into the interview. But why fire her? Because he sucks on his feet. They're mad at her?
Somebody's got to be there to protect him. Everybody's got to go down. And then the news story is that the royal family has decided that that's not quite enough. He's being kicked out of Buckingham Palace. He's not going to... Remember when we watched the interview, the one thing that we did, besides, mock him severely for being such a terrible interviewee, we talked about how beautiful the room was.
Yep.
The nice carpet, the nice background, the pictures on the wall,
It
the
was really
chandelier,
nice.
everything.
Delightful.
He can't live there no mo. They're throwing him out of Buckingham Palace.
Well, they're saying, too, now there's an article that said he buried his face in a stripper's breast at Epstein's. That's the most normal thing
I
he
know.
did there.
What's the big deal about that?
That's fine. No one would care if that's all he was
She
doing.
was 14. That's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah.
I
But if
mean,
she was the
what,
right
you-
age. Who cares if he's shoving his face in some stripper's tits? Good.
At Epstein's place? Is that where he did it?
At an Epstein party, it's saying.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Okay.
that they were. If it's a stripper at a big party, I'm assuming she was old enough.
Well, look, it's an Epstein party, first of all. I would say that if you're doing anything sexual at an Epstein party, even if it's with an of-age person, there is that slippery slope. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Very quickly, that leads to terrible, terrible behavior based on what we know of Jeffrey Epstein. So I would say that that's a minor issue, especially since it didn't exactly come up in the interview.
No, it did not. He handled that rather poorly.
Very, very
I
poorly.
thought his improv skills were lackluster at best.
Unfortunately, the Queen did too. I don't know where he's going to live now.
He has another place, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's not. It's not like he's going to be hungry. They're going to give him a ton of cash, and I'm sure he's going to have like a beautiful apartment. But it'll probably be an apartment that's like beautiful to us.
Yeah.
But to him, a major downgrade from Buckingham Palace.
You know, I don't know if he's living in there now. I think he's had his apartment renovated recently, so he probably lived. They all live
Yeah,
outside.
he wasn't living in Buckingham Palace. He was just doing his business there.
Travis, you're such a Royals
He has
expert.
no more business to do.
Travis loves the Royals.
I do. That's all I care about.
You think he realized that when they were like, well, we're going to take the business away? And he was like, okay, that sounds good. And they're like, so you have no reason to come back into this palace. And he was like, wait. This sounds like something different.
And they show him in the old bag on a couple of horses, and they're like, that's her showing support? That some fucking shitty photo of them horseback riding is supposed to be supportive?
And there's no way that that's a current photo.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
It's
I
an
don't
awful
think so.
photo.
Do you think he had to hand in the
Terrible.
keys to Buckingham Palace?
Yeah, she put her fucking 93-year-old
yeah.
hand out and he had to drop his keys in her hand.
In the article with the stripper, I'm reading it. It says that the stripper said, "You want to motorboat my tits," and he didn't know what that was.
Of course.
Oh,
Straight
no?
to the prince didn't know. He didn't know what motorboating meant.
I think it's even better. I think it's even better that he didn't know what it was, and then she told him what it was, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that."
The tits I like, you usually can't do this with. Yeah, and his
Prince
girlfriend,
Andrew.
Ghislaine Maxwell now is going to come out of hiding.
Epstein's girlfriend.
Epstein's girlfriend and talk to the FBI, but they said she's going to defend Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to give them anything.
No, yeah, she's probably just going to try to get herself and everybody off the hook.
Yeah.
And just like, look, I saw the thing. It said the Epstein death, the official story is that it's just a pile-on of screw-up. It's just screw-up after screw-up after screw-up, and that's what happened to him, and now he's dead, and now we can sit there and say, good news. Nobody that's alive had anything to do with any of the bad stuff. It was just Jeffrey Epstein.
I believe that he hung himself, and I'm annoyed at myself that I allowed myself to listen to Michael Baden, who I love. But
Yeah.
that was that. I'm annoyed that I bought into the camera. You know what the problem was? There's two cameras that might have been on the cell that maybe weren't working, but the camera outside his door may have been working the whole time. Like there must have been cameras where you could get on and off the ward, so they could see that the guards didn't do their rounds. There is cameras that worked, and I'm so fucking annoyed because I said if the cameras don't work, then maybe I'll go with a conspiracy because it's just too many things happening. But
Yeah.
of course,
If
there's
the
a camera
camera-
working.
I believe what you said was if the cameras don't work, then the official story is for jerks.
I didn't quite say that, but
It wasn't in my head. It was a very Johnny Cochran moment.
yeah, no.
The only thing I think could
You had a
the
big
guards have
thing
gotten,
on your forehead.
Could the guards have gotten paid off by somebody to not go near the cell and just hang out and let him do it? Hopefully, he's going to kill himself and not check on him.
Oh, you mean
Oh, like-
just let him do it himself?
Let him do it himself. That's the only theory that's I think is left.
It's possible. I mean, where they said like maybe they told him you're going to go into general population and then just let him hang himself. Yeah, sure. I mean, he did fucking finalize his. He locked up his money a couple days before. He did. He put his money in trust. Like a weird. He did something different with his money so no one could get to it. Maybe. I mean.
Finalized his will and all
Yeah,
that
but
stuff.
I also believe that they fell asleep and they're like, no one's going back there. We're 15 feet away.
They're motorcycle shopping.
Yeah. They're just
Trying to
sitting
buy
on
some
line.
motorcycles, get a good deal.
Yeah. But I do think he hung himself, and I'm annoyed at myself for wavering.
I want your guys' opinion on something. Did you guys watch the American Music Awards?
I saw
last night?
one clip, one part of one clip.
Okay.
No, I didn't watch.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch either. I kind of caught up on all that went on. Everybody was freaking out. You know, Kesha performed TikTok for the big 10th anniversary of the song TikTok. You know, that's a very big deal.
Sure, I don't know how I missed that. What a moment.
Yeah, I know. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, me too.
Taylor Swift won the Artist of the Decade award.
That's great.
And she gave her speech without ever mentioning her beef with Scooter Braun, which was really, really very big of her, you know, really, really inspiring.
Did he
thought.
say was she allowed to play her music?
I think she did. She was allowed to play her music, and she displayed a lot of girl power by letting Halsey and Camila Cabello sing along with her song. You know,
yeah.
showed female empowerment, which was really also very, very inspiring.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
As a young woman, I felt very inspired watching
Yeah,
it.
there's no other woman that's ever sang at the American Music Awards before.
You're right, Jim. This is a big moment.
She's doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, it's really important. Well, she took two of the most famous female singers in the world and made them sing her song. So it really showed, you know, unity and female empowerment.
Right.
You know, it was important. It would be like, Jim, if you were like, hey, I got Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld to do my jokes with me. Isn't this great for the community?
Yeah, guy power. Hey guys, I'm really empowering comedians.
Yeah, we're showing the community, the comedy community is unified here, and everybody would go, "You did it again, Florentine. You've inspired a generation."
I just have a hard time believing that Jerry Seinfeld will repeat one of my dick jokes.
It might be tough.
Yeah, that's right. His like me either. There's a nice picture of him and Mark Norman that Mark posted. They're eating, I
Saw
guess, after
that.
the Beacon. I'm guessing this after the Beacon.
Yeah, and I
yeah, Mark
believe,
looks good in a tie. That's a good look for him. He should wear that more often.
I believe Mark's caption under that was comedy.
Yeah.
I was trying to move some shirts. But I think the moment of the night for a lot of people, and I'm assuming you two as well, was the performance by Travis Scott and Post Malone and, of course, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy, I saw part of the clip. I mean, he's really hurting, though. I'm surprised he was able to show up at all because he's fucked up still. But I was glad that he at least showed up and was able to do it.
Yeah, you know, he is a lot of young people are sort of like super into it. You know, we've talked about the fact that like a lot of artists now are ripping off old metal shirts, and the kind of
That's right.
metal look and culture is becoming a big part of like pop music and hip hop music and stuff like that. And they're incorporating Ozzy. Do you like that? Like, it's making young people appreciate Ozzy, or do you think that that's
I love it.
not real support?
Yeah, I love
You
it. Kelly talked him into it, I think, to doing the thing with Post Malone. But yeah, I love it because
And Travis Scott. I mean, the fact that Travis Scott's on that too. He's like the biggest rapper in the world right now.
Yeah, and they probably like having Ozzy there because they like him. So yeah, I love seeing because it's more people who will just go to see him now. More people will buy his stuff. So yeah, I'm happy for him.
I don't mind it. I like to incorporate like musicians in these. You know, like they got a guitar player and stuff like that. All these rap guys that bring guitar players out, and they're actually guys playing instruments on stage.
Right.
Post
Yeah,
is a
it's
real
not
musician.
What's that?
Post Malone's a real musician.
Right, but that guitar player he's got is just, you know, ripping off a lead at the end and stuff like that. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah. Well, I want to watch. I want to watch the performance with you guys. I want to hear what you thought of it, because you know, Jim, you are critical of live performances every now and then.
Yes, I am.
So I'm not. I'm sure you'll show no bias. I don't.
No, I won't.
You're not the type that shows a bias towards anybody in particular.
I don't. No.
No, usually not.
When do you fly home, by the way?
This afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the show. But yeah, so let's watch some of Ozzy's performance. And Florentine, did you see the performance at all?
No.
Okay, good. So yeah, I want you to see it too.
I took them stones you do make change for the crew. I brought on 10 all these coupe only made for two.
Wow, he sings interesting live.
Yeah, hip hop. What do you mean?
Yeah, he sounds like the record.
Yeah.
It's weird. He
And
sounds great. They must
kind
have
of-
did a sound check for a while.
Yep. By the way, I hope the Cowboys die.
What do you? Because you're pretending you're a Cowboys fan
I
again?
can't. I literally watched 10 minutes of it. I wanted to fucking.
Oh, that was. It
I
was
wanted to put a
frustrating.
television through the fucking TV.
You wanted
I was
to
in
throw
Philly
a TV,
watching it.
You want to throw a TV through the TV?
Oh, I meant to say a television. I meant to say a chair through the TV, and I said a television through the TV.
You wanted to go to Best Buy and get a second TV.
No,
so
I
you
want to
could
watch
throw it
television with
through
a
the
TV, I should say. No, I fucked. I was so angry. I wanted to break this giant screen. God,
Why
that
you don't
fucking
even-
what a terribly
you s-
coached team.
Why are you so angry? You don't even watch him anymore.
I know, but there's still that fucking thing in me from when I'm 10 years old. And when I watch them and they lose, I literally want to throw something through the fucking window.
I feel like you haven't cared about the Cowboys since Troy Aikman.
I walked away from the Cowboys because they're too frustrating, and I get too angry, and there's too much investment in these fucking assholes that don't care if I'm alive or dead.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them
No,
are
they
not
don't.
nice guys. Most of them are like LeBron and those guys getting onto an. So I'm like, why am I enjoying these guys?
If they ever met you, they would fart in your face.
Most of them are just. Most of the athletes I've met, again, except for fighters, most of them are not nice. So I just stopped enjoying any of them.
Right, right. Well, what we are enjoying is Travis Scott. You guys were
We are.
saying he was maybe. I mean, when he's live, he's just very good live. It sounds almost the tune that he has is almost so good. It's like it's automatic.
Yeah, almost.
And yeah, it does. You're right, Jim. He does. He is able to pull off a sound
He is.
very similar to the record live.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
seems like they probably did the sound check probably lasted like 3 hours to get that perfect sound.
Yep.
That it's that
So-
good.
Which is crazy because so many performances on that show. They must have been there for 2 weeks. Sound
Yeah, I
checking.
know, because everyone's got to go up there and do a sound check. So
I
I'm
think
just-
they warmed up the night before. They did some. Ozzy put on Instagram something in L.A. where they were on stage at the Forum or something. So I'm guessing
Yeah,
that they did some kind of a warm-up show the night before.
Right.
Well, with Ozzy's choreography, it really looked like he needed to get a lot of practice in.
I'm sure he did. He's very, very banged up.
I'll leave it, it ain't nothing left to do. I need some more reasons to live out this evening. I've been sipping whatever, reaching, taking whatever, hoping, thinking whenever you be back on road. Go our ways, whichever you say, how it's however you know. So I'll never be alone. Blow it out fast, shut it went back, get it on sight, cock it up back, give it that, yeah. Shot it went back. Shot it went back.
Hey, Norton, what were you saying about the auto-tune thing a
I
minute
love the
ago?
fact that Ozzy sings live. I love the fact that he sings live and they don't. Good for him.
You think he's singing live there?
100%.
No auto-tune?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. He wouldn't do it.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Too much integrity?
Yeah.
I
Unless
see.
they did something in post that he had nothing to do with. He always sings live.
Jim, how annoyed are you that it's Ozzy singing and they're just going with auto-tune all over him?
I don't. I'm just happy for him that he's on the AMA. I'm happy that he's up and performing.
I watched this.
Is he
and
performing?
He's there.
It's
Waving his
everything.
hands.
It's everything that Norton complains about in live performances. It's lip syncing. It's auto-tuned. It's not real dancing.
Well, there's no dance. He doesn't. He's not a dancer. He's fucking.
He's throwing his hands in the air and he's waving them like he just doesn't care.
Well, he doesn't. Why would he? He's happy to
Prince
be
of
there.
Darkness.
That's one of Ozzy's moves, though.
That is,
He
of
does
course,
that.
one of his moves
He
since
does it a
the
lot, yeah.
70s. He's been doing that for 40 years.
Yeah, he has the whole crowd do it back and forth, so that's his thing.
Yeah, he's not dancing.
I
He
see.
gets the crowd
Yeah,
to do
I
it.
see.
But
So Florentine, it doesn't look stupid.
No, I'm just saying that's one of Ozzy's moves.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm happy that it seems like he's actually. It's hard for him to stand. So the fact that I'm happy that he was able to show up and actually do the show.
Look, if the whole thing is lip synced, it's tough for Ozzy in the middle of it to say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to sing live. I don't care." You know what I mean? Like, it's not his thing. If it was his band, he would play it live.
You
Like
don't
when
think Ozzy has
Metallica was it the Grammys? Metallica
with
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And the microphone was off the first like 30 seconds. Metallica, so we're playing live.
But see, that's a reason why they would prefer lip syncing to
Right.
avoid an embarrassment like that.
But if they can't figure out how to turn microphones on a music award show,
Yeah, I
For
mean,
the
there's too many. There's probably 30, 40 mics.
they're
All
all
together.
But that's kind of their thing.
Right, no, I understand
They
that.
yeah,
should
you see
do
the way
it.
Jim's controlling all these microphones this morning? You see the way Norton's behind that board right
That's
now?
right.
There's 30, 40 mics in here, and you're controlling them.
Yes, it's not hard.
It's good stuff.
It's not
Yeah.
hard.
No, it isn't.
So yeah,
it's
I was
very,
happy
very
for him.
doable.
It's like, look, he's going out on the road in fucking like April or May.
You don't think he's auto-tuned?
No. Ozzy doesn't go for that shit.
All right, let's play a little bit. Fire's cool.
Look at those hands. Way up in the air.
Waving them way up.
Probably the
kids
best
are
moment of that
excited.
whole shitty award show.
What?
These guys doing this.
Ozzy auto-tuned?
I'm not mad at that.
No, not at
Well,
all.
There's
I
the
like
man.
Post Malone.
Me too.
Look,
I think it's great, but you can't from a person who literally we can't watch a musical performance without somebody in the studio disgusted at lip syncing.
That's right.
Or auto-tune. Whenever anyone is lip syncing on an award show and or auto-tuned, there is a person.
I dislike
in the
it a lot.
studio-
That's why I'm happy they let Ozzy sing live. I'm glad they let him do it.
Did Ozzy put all that fire out with one of his patented buckets of water?
I don't even know if it was real fire.
Oh.
I think it might have been fake. But that's because the venue was too big a pussy. That's not his fault.
I like how they kept going in the crowd and showing the crowd singing along to it. I've never seen a hotter chick sing an Ozzy song ever. Ever. It's just a bunch of fucking drunk Jersey guys singing Crazy Train. I've never seen a 9 sing an Ozzy lyric ever in my life. So I'm
Even
happy
in the
about
peak,
that.
In the peak of Ozzy.
Never. There's never been a girl over a 6 at an Ozzy show.
No, they tend to not be the most attractive young ladies. It's okay.
So that was live, you think, Jim? And you're
Yes,
a student.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, his part.
All right. Yeah, they just turned his mic on and he just decided to go for it. It's amazing how good he sounds.
Yeah, he sounded great.
He sounds great.
He sounded great for the last 3 or 4 tours. I would say the last 8 years.
Is he
live.
lip syncing on those too?
Never. No.
Oh.
He sings because I know he doesn't lip sync when he's live doing concerts because the mistakes he'll make in the lyrics are not from the album. Like he sings things backwards sometimes, or he'll mix up a word.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
like
very
that.
difficult for him to.
I saw him at Mama, I'm Coming Home last tour. He messed up the lyrics halfway through.
Yeah.
And then he stopped after, and the end of the song goes, I want to do it again. I messed the song up, so he did it over again.
Yeah, sometimes that
That's
happens.
awesome.
He's been doing that since
Look,
the 70s.
he's 70 years old, so, I mean, just that he's still up there
I
performing.
think I think that's cool that he messes up and redoes it. It gives you an experience. I don't think anyone's getting mad at that. That's
I like
awesome.
the backwards. I think it's dyslexia, like where he'll do the second verse first. He's again doing that for fucking 40 years, so you always know that it's live because he sang the second verse first.
Oh yeah.
Makes me happy.
It's weird though. He got the verse in the right order at the AMAs.
Well, he did, yeah, because it's a new
Yeah.
song. It's only like fucking one
Just the
thing.
chorus, I guess. Yeah, just the chorus.
He's not an idiot. But you know.
So even live, because he was not auto-tuned there.
No.
You said, oh, okay, and he was not lip syncing.
no.
Oh,
No, and I
okay,
can
all
tell
right.
it. I can tell. I know his voice.
He very well could have done a dress rehearsal, recorded it then, and made sure that it was perfect,
Troy.
and they're playing it back.
Absolutely.
It's the record. It's auto-tuned.
No, it's not. I can tell the difference. There's a little difference in certain things he says.
What do you mean he very well could have? It's clearly auto-tuned. It sounds like a computer.
No, they might be doing something backstage with the mics that he doesn't know about.
Yeah, and you can auto-tune live.
That's beyond his control.
Auto-tuning
little
live
trick.
is a possibility.
Sure.
Yeah, but not when not with that. None of that was live.
Oh, Joe in Westchester. Hold on a second. We got to deal with this now. Hold on.
What's Joe saying?
Hey, Joe.
Jim, how could you possibly defend Ozzy in this situation? He completely sold out. This guy's the Prince of Darkness. He bit the head off a bat. He snorted ants, and now he's on stage auto-tuning his music.
By the
This
way,
is insanity.
Joe, let me ask you, what is selling? What is selling? Like, you don't have to like the song, but what is the idea of selling out because you're doing something that's smart and it's a song that people like? Like, how is that selling out?
It's staying relevant.
He doesn't need to perform at the American Music Awards. He's already a legend.
Right.
And this is not his. This is not his base in a
But it's
sense.
good for him.
That's audience.
That's the beauty of it. He doesn't need to do it. They have enough money, so he's not doing it for the money. He's just doing it because he likes to perform, and he's an artist, and he's continuing. Like, that's what he does.
Jim, please. Are you honestly thinking that music wasn't auto-tuned? It's terrible. And
Have you ever listened to this show before? Like, Joe, is this your first time hearing this radio show?
Jim, I've called a million times.
I know. You're very literal, Joe.
It's gotta kill you. It's gotta kill you inside. Deep down, it's gotta really, really bother you.
Not even a little. I was happy for him when I saw that he was able to do it because he's so fucked up. It's hard for him to walk. So I was happy that he was able to do it. He's up and about better than I thought he would be.
I can't wait for Kiss to perform with Destiny's Child next year. It's gonna be great.
I would love
Destiny's
it. Good for
Child.
them. That collaboration's never bothered me. That type of stuff never bothered me. I like seeing somebody I like doing something like that.
Great reference
Good.
in 1998. I can't wait for Destiny's Child
Yeah,
to
come on,
perform.
Joe. Get a hold of yourself. The song is good.
And if you're going to say Ozzy sold out, I mean, he did the reality show. You could be like, well, he sold out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Metallica
amazing.
sold out when they cut their hair.
Exactly.
Metallica sold out when they had Marianne Faithfull on it. Everyone sells out to people.
When they gave their music to car commercials, all that stuff. So it's always been going on. You know, Aerosmith going on American Idol, Steven Tyler as a judge. So at this
You never
point,
saw Springsteen go on American Idol. he wouldn't do it.
Springsteen has done commercialized. Are you a big Bruce fan? Do you think that he's a
Joe? You know
is
why
this
Springsteen
rolling?
wouldn't? You know why Springsteen? You know why Springsteen wouldn't do American Idol? Because they wouldn't pay him enough. If they paid him what he wanted, he would have done it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Springsteen fan, to be honest, but he hasn't done it, and I don't think I'm not expecting Ozzy to do it either.
Yeah,
He would
Ozzy is
do
just
it.
being Ozzy in the song. Like to me, selling out is different. If you give up who you are, or you start denying who you are, or like fucking writing off who you are, like, oh, you know, that's bad stuff, or condemning what you, that to me is selling out. But a guy just doing a song with a relevant young artist is not selling out.
I would love to hear.
And then
though,
also,
what-
you know, Kelly
All right,
told
Joe.
him. Kelly
Thank
wanted
you.
him to
Take
do
care.
it, to work with this Post Malone dude. So sometimes you just do stuff for your kids.
Yeah, and it was the right move. She did talk him into it. She talked him into the album too.
And he's
Yeah.
already solidified as like royalty. So like, who cares what he does at this point?
But
you
yeah,
know?
if his daughter wants him to do it, it's like, come on, Dad. You know, like, you know, I rode the teacups in Disney World with my kid. Think I would have done that on my own?
yeah, I guess, but I mean, Kelly's like in her 30s at this point. It's not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but she's, you know,
If your kid
his
was in a-
dad.
in
He's
a-
like, come on, Dad, do this. This would be great for you. And he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it for
Like
my kid.
Aerosmith got called sellouts because they started doing ballads and changing the type of music they did that people liked. Like he hasn't done that. I mean, his new album is heavy. It's not like he's all of a sudden he's only doing
No.
love songs. I mean, he's doing the same thing he did 35, 40 years ago.
I completely support Ozzy and what he's doing, and I like when artists decide to stay relevant and change their music instead of just touring with the same songs over and over and over again. And like now you can see Ozzy on tour, and he can do some of this stuff, and he can do the old stuff, and there's actually like a varied catalog. But what I would love to see is if Aerosmith, for example, had been on stage last night, lip-syncing and auto-tuned, and just to hear the difference in Norton's tone.
If I
to
thought
pour-
that if I thought they were auto-tuned, I'd probably say it. Sure.
But you don't think Ozzy was?
No, I know Ozzy's voice. I know what Ozzy sounds like. Again, if
it
there was a
wasn't-
guy fidgeting in the back, that's Ozzy can't stop that.
Right, and that's not up to him anyway, is it?
No, he doesn't control
No.
that. He just kind of came out. It's not his song. He just kind of came out and did them a favor and sang and made it an event.
And he threw his arms in the air and he waved them around like he just didn't care.
Absolutely, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very Ozzy move.
So you were happy about it?
Oh, of course, I was happy
I
for
was-
him.
Look, I like Post Malone, I like Travis Scott, I like Ozzy, so I was happy about it too. But I did.
I don't care about the other two.
I no, I'm sure of that. But I did find it hilarious, and it might come up again the next time you criticize a live performance. And
It can come up anytime. It can come up 5 days a week, and I'll give the same answer.
I love to somebody calling up and be like, "You got to admit, Ozzy's a sellout." When your favorite band is Kiss.
Who,
Like-
Joe or mine?
No, Joe, that anybody would sit there and be like, Jim, like, you got to call out sellouts when you see them. And it's like, I mean.
They're not my favorite band. Sabbath is my favorite band, but I do love Kiss, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
One of
None
your
of
favorite bands just played for Sharks.
I know. It's fucking the coolest thing ever. The fucking Sharks, how dangerous. They could have been injured.
And I mean, how badass is it that Kiss is so dangerous that even the Sharks swim away?
That's exactly that's the point I was making. They're afraid of getting fire breathed on them.
They don't want to lose their minds in Detroit Rock City.
None of that stuff bothers me. Like, I've always kind of liked that stuff, even though a lot of it's campy. I'm like, who cares?
You just, I don't know. You just ignore it if you don't like it. Like, it just doesn't even stay on my radar. When Metallica did that album with Lou Reed, I just ignored it. I knew they weren't
Yeah.
going to tour. I knew they weren't not going to do Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman when they played live and played those Lou Reed songs. It was just a little side project they did. I just didn't get it. I didn't get into it. I wasn't mad at them.
It doesn't bother me either. This idea that like these popular artists shouldn't be making business moves because it's a sellout, like that's ridiculous. That's
And it's a bunch of
outdated
people
thinking.
who, and it is, and it's a bunch of people who don't live by that. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like these people who say you shouldn't do that would do anything at work that they
like-
had to do to advance.
Like
So our
somebody-
Kiss wants to stand on a tugboat and fucking and play for $200,000. Knock yourselves out.
Plus, it's not like Ozzy's changing who he is. He's not going up there rapping. You know, like he's singing.
Yeah, he's doing what he does, and
I
the
mean,
song
I
is
don't know if
good.
he's
Well, they're
singing.
auto-tuned. Well, okay.
He's pretending to sing.
He's up there opening his mouth, and words are coming from somewhere.
And if somebody is
make-believe
doing
singing.
shenanigans behind hopefully they were scolded for that shit. That's not Ozzy's
Look,
fault.
the
been
way I look
pranks.
at it wasn't Ozzy's song. He's just a
No,
little
he's just
part of
on
it in the
and it's
middle.
good for him, and
so
it's good for
whatever they
Post
had to
Malone.
do, because it wasn't, if it was his song, and it was all, auto-tune and all that stuff, then I'd be like, all right, I'd have a problem with it. But he's just a little part of a bigger song.
Exactly. Plus, Ozzy.
So he's got to
almost
play
anything he
along.
wants.
He's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I love when
What do you
people
think
go
of,
like.
sorry.
I love when people they go like, well, this guy sold out, so I don't like him anymore. Meanwhile, everybody that's ever called anybody a sellout has a job that they hate. Why are you doing a job that you hate?
Working for a billion-dollar company.
Yeah, that would be selling out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all don't understand what it is.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a weird expectation. You know what it is? Because when artists change, it makes people feel older. Like, Metallica change. It's like, yeah, well, so did you. You're fucking married with 2 kids. What, do you still go out on a Tuesday and get drunk till 4? No, shithead, you don't.
Yeah.
But that makes you feel old. Like, we like to see artists and performers look the same as they always looked, because then it makes us feel like we're 25. But when they're older, fuck, man, I'm getting old. My favorite band cut their hair, and they're fucking different. Now they're not getting loaded anymore, and they're all sober, and they're on tour, and they have their children. Like, it makes you realize, yeah, man, you're fucking moving along.
Yeah, you're not at the age where it's appropriate for you to draw their logo on the back of your notebook anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
like we're evolving.
If you think a band just sucks after a while, that's fine. I never have a problem with that. Like, some bands just aren't good after a while, and people stop liking them. But the whole idea of selling out when they're just continuing to do what they do, it's like, who cares?
What happens if, like, you have this thing that sometimes people do when they perform live, and you criticize them for it every single time, and then your favorite band does it?
I would probably mention if I thought that was happening.
Okay.
Sure. I'm a man with integrity.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you are is a hypocrite.
100%. Yes, of course. It'd be like pretending certain athletic athletic things are real. I just wouldn't do it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but go on.
Florentine, what do you think of Kiss doing this concert on a boat?
Look,
it's good. It's good stuff. It's
Gene
good.
Simmons, with his box set that he put out, or the vault last year, had a thing in there
Jim.
for $50,000. You can, I'll come to your house and hang out with your friends for a few hours. So when you get to that point, this means nothing. This is fine.
Do you look at them and be like, these guys are fucking cheeseballs at this point?
No, it's just like but you just know what they're about.
He put out the biggest box set of all time, and when I say the biggest box set of all time, I mean physically. That was a big bragging point that he had. It was the biggest.
If
box.
you spend enough money, you can help produce one of the songs. You can go in the studio and produce it on how you liked it.
Oh.
So at this point, this means nothing that he's going to play with sharks.
That doesn't
Gene
destroy
Simmons
their
is-
legacy, though? Like,
It was just
What
old
legacy?
songs, like solo songs that he had in the vault, and he goes, "Hey, for a certain amount, you can come in the studio with me and help produce them."
But imagine like Paul McCartney being like, hey, come on in and help me do something. You'd be like, what are you doing?
Plus, there's no legacy. I mean, Kiss was literally designed to sell lunchboxes. There's never been a time when Kiss wasn't doing stuff like this. This is Kiss playing on a fishing boat for 4 people because they paid him a lot of money is the legacy of Kiss.
I
That's
don't
who
think
Kiss
that they
is.
ever. I don't think they were designed that way. I think it just happened because, like, the New York
What?
Dolls did not. Meaning when they first started in '73, it wasn't to sell lunchboxes. They were just fucking 420-year-olds, fucking banging girls and doing music. It was like the New York Dolls
think-
did makeup. They didn't sell
I think-
lunchboxes.
Gene knew, though, very, very early on that if they took on characters, that it was a selling point. You know, I think Gene Simmons obviously has this great business and marketing mind, and I think he had it from the beginning.
It may have been what kind of caught on too.
They did Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park in '79.
Dude, what a fucking great film.
I think
love it.
they
You
had
love that
figured
movie.
out where they were going by 1979.
But that was
Oh,
a busy
yeah.
6 years though. I mean, the band was done a year later. I mean, they started.
no, I'm just saying
breaking
that
up in
they've been doing
1979.
this shit for 40 years.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that was, by the way, that was the movie. Like, usually the movie is a culmination
Yep.
of selling out. So it's not like it started in '79, right?
They just did the movie. They did a great movie. What am I going to do? It was scary. It had suspense.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah. No, I think it's available on Disney Plus.
When I was a kid, I loved Kiss Meets the Phantom. It doesn't quite hold up.
Yeah,
some of the
it doesn't.
graphics are not what they used, what I thought they were. But the Kiss
Didn't
comic
they
book.
Didn't they? One of the band members have to get his voice overdubbed or something? Didn't
Peter
Ace's
Chris.
or
Oh no, Ace.
Peter's-
Peter. Sorry.
Yeah, his voice had to get overdubbed because he was too fucked up the whole time or something like that.
I don't know why they overdubbed it. I've heard different stories.
Yeah, but his voice is not actually, and I don't mean his singing voice. I mean his voice for dialogue was overdubbed with somebody else's voice.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that because they
I
use their
love
real
that they did
voices.
They hate
I
it.
love it.
They were having a. By then they were fractured. You know,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
yeah. Peter and Ace were fucked up all the time, and Gene and Paul are more business guys. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they took
Well,
the
look.
makeup off in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this by the way, Tim in Philly, Philadelphia was awesome this weekend. Really
Oh, I
great
forgot
show.
you were in Philly this weekend.
I
yeah.
loved, every show was great. So thank you to Philly for all the people that came out. It was great. Yes, Tim, I remember you. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Jim?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, you killed in Philly this weekend.
Thank you.
It was awesome. It was a great show. But when I got you to sign my lanyard I got from the '98 show, Sabbath, you seemed a little taken back from it. I asked you to sign something.
I almost didn't want to
something
sign it. Yeah, it was a thing that I think YSP did years ago, and I know because I got one, where he had Ozzy, Bill, Tony, and Geezer signed it. It had all of the original Sabbath on it, and he asked me to sign it. And I'm like, are you like? I was really hesitant to do it, but it's yours, and you asked me to, so I did it. But I was very hesitant to sign anything that all four of those guys had signed.
It seemed that I felt a little weird too. Like when you reacted that way, I was like, "Oh, am I doing the wrong thing?" I don't want to be like that weird fan that asks you to do something.
No, I didn't mind doing it. I mean, I was okay
So
with
you
it.
just so you just have the bands. You have the four guys in the band and Norton.
Yeah. Well, I have during that reunion tour, they had like that double album, and the CD insert, like the middle of it, has all four of their pictures, and that's what they were signing.
Yeah.
And we were only supposed to have like the one thing signed, but I kind of slid them on the table too.
Oh, okay.
He ran through it and signed them both for me. And I got the other thing framed, with the picture and stuff. But if I had this little plastic lanyard thing, and I'm like, oh man, I got to get Jimmy to sign this. 'Cause, you're a big Sabbath fan, I am too. I just thought it'd be really cool to have you on there with it.
By the way, do you guys?
heard that.
We appreciate it. There's something with your voice. I
He turned into a
complained
different
about
person.
the phone calls. He sounds like fucking Kieran Culkin. Something happened with your voice, Tim. Thank you for coming to the show, buddy. All right.
Cool, thanks, bud.
Be good.
Have a good one.
It wasn't Tim's voice. It was there's something with the processing on the.
It was
phone calls.
the phones that time. It wasn't just the headphones.
Right. That was a phone issue.
We
'Cause I heard that
waited
all the
online.
way
to-
here.
I was just thinking
on
that here in New
98.
York.
Yeah, at Virgin Records, right in Times Square.
Me, you, and Don Jameson.
Yeah, to meet
Florentine is-
Sabbath and take pictures with him in '98.
You
when they
took
got back
pictures.
together.
This was weird. We were going to get our thing signed, the original Sabbath. It was on Virgin on Broadway.
Yeah.
And we waited for like 3 hours to get down to meet Sabbath. And it was, I had my business cards that I got them all to sign. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to shake every one of their hands and get them to sign a business card. And Jim had a camera, and he was doing selfies with a fucking, like a disposable camera.
Yeah.
And you were doing, it was hard to get pictures, though, because the people around them were kind of like, no, move the line, move the line, move the line.
Do you still have the photos?
Yes.
Jim has
Are they
those,
good?
yeah.
Was that the first time you'd met them,
No, I met Ozzy a bunch of times.
Jim?
I had met Ozzy. It was the first time I believe I had met any of them. Yeah.
So that's why you waited for
Oh
hours.
wait, no, Oh yeah, by far it was absolutely the first, because we met Bill Ward backstage. I thought it was the first time I got like a picture with Bill was backstage at YSP in like 2005. We went and saw them live.
Yeah.
Remember me and you snuck back and we just kept talking to each other like we belonged there.
Yeah, that was at Ozfest.
Yeah, that was at Ozfest.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first time we met the other three, Geezer, Tony, and Bill.
I was out of my mind. Yeah, I was.
I know, we waited 3 hours. It was at like midnight, wasn't it? Like 11 o'clock, because the album was coming out at midnight or something.
Yep, it was. We had to you weed through the fucking you weave through the aisles. They have a long line. And
That
then
store was amazing. Yeah.
It was great, man. And then all four of them were sitting there. It was crazy to be that
I think-
close to them for the first
I
time.
think that Virgin Megastore. That's where I met Rob Zombie, like right before they closed it there.
What year did they
And
close
yeah.
it?
It's been gone for a while.
I know. The one in LA, like the Tower Records, is still standing there.
Dude, the Tower Records downtown on like West 4th or whatever, that was like the greatest
Yeah.
That
record
was a great store,
Oh,
too,
my
yeah.
God.
It looks like 09.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I met Rob Zombie there in 06-ish, maybe 05.
Yeah, that was really in-store appearance. It was October 19th, 1998. Wow, Jim, it's a little over 21 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah, I would not. I would. I'm with you, Jim. I would be very hesitant about signing somebody's thing that had the 4 signatures on it, and then they were like, "And you."
But he told me he had the album. This was an extra thing he had, so I was like, okay,
So I guess
fine.
that's- yeah.
I mean, it's not worth a lot of money, and it's worth even less now. But
Much less.
But he has the album signed, so that's the thing he cared about was getting the CD signed by all 4 of them. We got to take a break. It's almost 8:15. We have Phil Selman is here, who I love and Jim knows for many years.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
did
Phil Selman?
Phil's a comedian we've known for many years. He's a very funny guy. So we'll take a break and then bring Phil in. He was in once with Voss. But all the
Yes.
comics know Phil.
Phil
and-
was a booker when me and Jim started
Yeah.
out, and he gave us a lot of work. He had these little shitty rooms that
Yeah.
we did all over.
He was a
And-
stand-up and a booker at the same time.
and helped
yeah.
us get our start, and we did a lot of gigs with him. So I'm sure he's going to have a lot of crazy stuff. I only remember one with him, but I'm sure he's got like 50, me and him on the road.
I like Phil Selman because I met him only the last time he was in, and this was months and months and months ago. But he's great because he's been doing comedy forever.
Yep.
But he's not as famous as maybe he thinks he should be, and he's very upset about it.
Yeah, and he should be more famous. He's correct. We agree with Phil Selman.
I almost don't want to see him until he walks in like live on the air because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen him in like 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I almost don't want to see, let him come in and just start off.
All right, yeah, well,
Because it'll ruin the moment if I talk to him 10 minutes
100%.
before.
I agree.
So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll just start, and then whenever Phil gets here, just walk him right in the studio and sit him down next to Jim Florentine. By the way, Creeps with Kids, I wish I had been able to see it while you guys were in Chicago because I
Yes.
was here, but I was working on Saturday. Otherwise, I would have been there.
Oh, it's amazing. Chicago was phenomenal.
But
We
you
got-
guys will go ahead.
We got 2 more shows left on this leg of the tour. We're going to do a bunch more in 2020. We got booked. But
So
we're
it's
not.
Harrisburg and Rahway this weekend, right?
Yeah, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Friday, Rahway, New Jersey, Saturday.
That's so great that
Tour.com.
Everyone who goes to the show says it's been great, man. Actually, people coming
Yeah.
to my shows like fucking Creeps with Kids was great. Like, there's been a couple times we crossed paths, so the reviews are great on it, and all 4 of you guys are killing. And
Yeah.
it's a fucking smart tour, man.
It's amazing, though. We're having so much. It's the best tour I've ever been on. Like
It
the
is,
funnest
right?
time I'm having. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I got Caroline the 12th, 13th, 14th of December. That's my last gig of the year. I'm starting to book into 2020, but for this year, that's it, and I'm done. We'll be right back. Me and Jim are hanging with Sam, of course, and Phil Selman will be here with us.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts return.
Phil Selman is on his way in, and Phil Selman is a guy that Florentine and Norton, obviously Jim Florentine and Jim Norton have known each other. How long, you guys? Your entire...
Since 29 years. Since 6 months in, maybe, I met Jim.
Wow.
Maybe a little less. Pat Gaynor introduced us, and he's like, this guy's name is Jammin' Jim. It might have been 4 months in. No, it might have been way less than 6 months. It was probably a month into me doing stand-up I met Jim.
Yeah,
You
he
met
would come
Jim
to my
and Jim
shows. There was
Florentine?
a club, and Jim would sit in the front with like one of his friends or by himself, like in the front row, would just stare at me when I was on stage.
My buddy Tyler, yeah, would
looking
watch
at my
comics.
bulge in my pants. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's a fucking weird. I go, I don't know what's up with this guy. He
Would
had
you
this
ever
creepy
think-
smile.
This is going to be a man I know for 30 years.
Yeah, because the guy had the room. This guy Pat Gaynor goes, hey, this guy Jim over here wants to be a comedian, wants to talk to you. Because I had some other room I was booking. And he goes, he wants to, so I go, that creepy guy that sits in the front? He's like, yeah, he wants to be a comedian. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to him.
Well,
did,
look
too.
who just walked in. This is a guy that you guys
Oh,
have
it-
known
Holy
forever.
shit.
Phil Selman is here, and this is the first time that Florentine and Phil have
I
probably
haven't seen
each
Phil
other.
probably like 15 years.
No, I think I saw you at a party where you blew me off. Probably.
He's got the same outfit on as fucking 15 years ago, the black T-shirt and the jeans.
And you do too. I want to start off by saying I saw the Irishman. Very nice work there, Jim.
Thanks, Phil. Thank you. Yes, I was happy they left me in.
Yes.
That's all I
Phil-
cared about was making it in.
Do you feel like the reason that Florentine has not seen you in as long as he's seen you? Because he was talking
Who
before
is
you.
this? Is this a long?
He's right there.
Oh, you can't see it. Sam is on. He's my co-host. He's in Chicago.
Oh, he's in Chicago
For today, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
All
in
right.
Chicago today, Phil. It's good to see you
Good
again,
to
though.
see you too.
Do you think, because Florentine, before you came in, I'm surprised, before you came in, Florentine was like, oh, I can't wait to see Phil, like, it's been 15 years, but it sounds more like the reason he hasn't seen you in all those years is because he just doesn't give you the time of day.
Well, there was an incident with Jim. I will bring up. We went
Please
to
do.
we went to Amsterdam. Actually, we went to Kuwait together.
Did you?
To perform for you. Remember, and he brought you back a shirt. I recall. You guys were still living together. That was in January of 2001. We went to perform for the troops in Kuwait, and on the way back, we got to stop at Amsterdam. And when we were there, you remember this, Jim? Remember this?
remember.
Yeah, yes. And Jim had a piece of space because I got high, and I actually apologized for any inappropriate behavior, and that was probably the last time and the first time I ever apologized for any inappropriate behavior. He goes, I have to try this stuff. So he eats a piece of space cake and he's singing and dancing down the streets. Then 20 minutes later he goes, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. He wasn't even talking. He wasn't even talking in his Florentine voice. He was talking like a little girl. I'm afraid. What's going to happen? I said, well, the worst thing that could happen is you'll die, but that's probably not going to happen because it was too early to go to hookers. We were there like early. You know, the hookers with like one tooth were at that time, and I wasn't high enough. And then we come back, and then he was supposed to do a gig for me the next day. And I believe it was back with the Opie and Anthony when there was that football. Remember there was some kind of a football thing?
XFL, yeah.
Right. So he canceled me at the last minute, and I sent him an email, and I said I should have let you die in Amsterdam, and I feel things have never been the same since. I didn't mean that. It was just part of the Phil Selman charm. Yeah. And Jim has never been the same since then. I felt he turned on me since. You recall that, Jim?
Yeah, let me fill in the blanks. So we have a 6-hour layover in Amsterdam, come back from Kuwait. We perform for the troops over there, and Phil wants to get a hooker. And I wasn't interested in the hookers. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I said I wanted to go to a record store to get like import heavy metal records in Amsterdam.
I got to be honest, I would have enjoyed Phil's company more.
I know. That's all I wanted to do.
I really wanted to get high. It was high and a hooker, in alphabetical order.
Right, but there was a changeover with the hookers, like at 7 or 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
there was a changeover where they mop up all the place or clean them out. So you have to wait till like 9 o'clock to get a hooker, and we're there like 7:30. So Phil goes into a little
a coffee shop.
A coffee shop to go get high, and I go, I'll take a little of that space cake or whatever. It was some hash cake, right?
Yeah.
And I don't do drugs. So I took a little piece. I'm like, yeah, this would be fine. And next thing I know, I'm fucking flying. I'm like, all right, Phil, you're gonna go get your hooker. I'm gonna go to the record store. We'll meet up later.
No, you didn't want me to leave you. You were.
Well, no,
were
this
very,
was before.
Before
I started tripping. So about a half hour, I'm fucking. Yeah, I was dancing down the street.
Yeah, he was dancing.
And I don't dance.
Very
I don't dance ever.
No, and I never apologized, so that was good. But you do remember you got very scared.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden I started tripping. About 40 minutes in, I'm out of my fucking mind. I'm seeing things. I'm freaking out. I'm like, Phil, you can't leave me. He's like, I'm going to get a hooker. I go, you can't leave me. Don't. And he just walked me around Amsterdam for like 3 hours.
Holding his hand.
Holding my hand. And he never got a hooker. We had to get back on a plane and go back to the States.
How long of a layover did you have?
We had about, I don't know, maybe it wasn't 6 hours. Maybe it was
5 hours. It was enough. That was basically my only reason for wanting to go to Kuwait, knowing that Amsterdam was halfway.
On the way home, yeah.
Yeah, he knew.
Each way, yeah.
Yeah, Phil knew on the way home he was going to get a hooker in Amsterdam. And I said, well, I'm going to go to these record stores where he goes there to get import heavy metal records. That's why I wanted to go. And Phil didn't get a hooker.
That's bullshit.
No, it's true.
They don't even have records in Europe. What are you talking about?
No, because we went to the store and it wasn't open yet. I was freaking. I'm like, all right, I'll go eat some hash cake with you. And I felt so bad on the way home because he was so mad at me on the flight from Amsterdam back to New York. That he didn't get a hooker. I was like, Phil, if you want me to jerk you off, and he fucking, I go, I'll just jerk you off.
You did jerk me off. You don't remember? You were so high.
I really felt like I should give him a hand job. That he was so mad that he couldn't get a hooker. He had to babysit me for like 3 hours.
How long of a flight is that high? Like, imagine if you're all paranoid and fucked up and you got to get back on a plane.
It's better when you're high. Everything is better when you're high.
No, it wore off about 3 hours. By the time we got back to the airport, I felt fine. It feels like, oh, now you feel fine.
And then he goes to me. Then he goes to me. I'm glad I'm with a professional, a professional drug addict, to be able to help him. But then, of course, I also remember the time. Remember we went to West Virginia. Remember the time in West Virginia, and I met one of the most beautiful girls I have ever met. That blonde. Remember, and we were in, I think it was like Morgantown or something.
Right.
And remember then I'm like calling her, and then like she's not getting back to me, and it was like snowing and 4 degrees outside, and you go, I'm going to go outside. I don't want to be in here for this. Because I was unhappy. You remember that girl was gorgeous. She was a gorgeous blonde. You forgot that?
Yeah, I forget. Well, yeah. Well, I didn't
I don't even think he remembers me. No, I don't think Jim
He forgets all your memories together.
But you never
I'm
hooked
the
up
one who
with her.
did the drugs, and he doesn't remember.
But you
have a
didn't
good
hook
memory,
up with her, though.
Not that time. Then I did. When I came back again, I did. And then, of course, after that, don't ever contact me again. But that's a typical par for the course.
The girl said that?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, she was like married. It turned out she was married. Her husband was paralyzed. He went like parachuting out of a plane. So I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't going to come and get me. He wasn't going to hurt me. But the girl was gorgeous. God, this girl. I sent her like a Vermont teddy bear as a comedian with a leather jacket and a microphone.
And she sent one in a wheelchair.
And then she sends me this letter. She goes, "My personal life is none of your business." I said, "Well, I guess having sex wasn't really part of the personal life either." But that was like one of the best-looking girls. She looked like Christina Applegate in her heyday, because you hooked up with one that was not as attractive.
Probably.
Shocker.
Wait, you sent her a Vermont teddy bear?
Yes,
She got mad?
What?
She got mad about that?
Yeah, she was mad. Because what happened was the second time when she came to see me after I had sex with her the first time, she brought another girl with her. And this girl was like wacky, and that was in my drinking days. So I just like said, "Oh, get that crazy fucking girl out of here! I just want to be with you." And then you're a horrible, horrible person, and the rest is history.
Phil, is it possible that it was you were putting more emotion behind it because she was so attractive that you were like, "Oh, I'll send her a Vermont teddy bear"?
No,
like,
I
this
wanted
is
to
a
get her
romantic-
back. I wanted to like have. I
Right.
did have sex with her. I did. She was gorgeous. This girl was like.
Right.
She was one of the best looking girls I ever.
But she was just using you for your body.
Of course she was.
And-
There's nothing wrong with that.
And Phil's charm on stage. Right,
But
she's- No, I remember.
So then
I remember
after-
going on tour with you, and I picked up some girl at a truck stop or something, and she came to the show. We were in like, Pennsylvania
Probably.
somewhere.
That I don't remember because you picking up a girl
Oh,
at a
so you
truck
don't
stop
remember
and-
that? You don't remember that?
Not at a truck stop, at a strip club. I think it might have been some cheesy strip club.
Probably.
Where it was like one stripper and it was like,
Look,
small
one thing
town.
with Phil, me and Jim got into business. Phil had a bunch of comedy rooms.
Him and Dennis Ross.
Yeah.
The late Dennis Ross.
Yeah, late Dennis Ross.
And me and Jim would work these rooms and basically cut our teeth in those rooms to make us better comics. They weren't good paying gigs, but I never cared. They were like $70.
Yeah,
I would
50,
headline
75.
70 or $75.
That was like when you were like a DJ, I think. Were you
Yeah, I
like
was DJing early on.
Right,
yeah.
right.
The budget was like $600, and you paid a headliner
only
$75.
occasionally.
But I didn't care. Like everyone,
No, I didn't either.
Phil had a bad reputation. We got in the business. I go, stay away from him and this other guy, Dennis Ross. They were
People
partners.
actually, they said that?
Yeah, because they said you guys don't
I just
pay.
found that out for the first time. I never heard that before.
You and
I
Dennis-
knew there was things being said about me.
You and
God
Dennis
damn.
said it about each other.
Dennis was the unhealthiest man alive.
Yeah, he
Dennis.
was.
He was the unhealthy. And the last time I saw him, I said, "You got to lose weight, or you're going to die." And he got mad at me, and then he died. But anyway, these things will
So
happen.
were you not paying people?
I was paying people.
Because the rumor was that you were not paying.
I always paid people. I didn't pay them a lot, but I paid them.
Yeah, he didn't pay a lot, but he paid it. And I had no problem with it. I never had a problem with a booker as long as I'm making what I want to make. I don't give a shit what the other guy makes. So people would always badmouth Phil like he's taking all the money, the big budget, whatever the budget
But
is.
I
he's
had
taking most
Ross
of
as
it.
a partner, and generally there was another agent involved. So it was all a lot of pieces coming out of the pie there. So it
Well,
wasn't,
you knew that Phil was taking a lot of it when he would go, "Don't ask the club owner to get paid at the end of the night," because he didn't want the club to know how much we were getting paid.
That wasn't me. You're confusing me with some other shyster bookers. That's not me.
Look, I have nothing but great things to say about Phil. 'Cause
I know.
But then
even
why
if
did you
they
stop?
weren't the best gigs. They were like
No,
shitty
they were-
sports
yeah, they were
bars or
terrible,
whatever.
They were
terrible.
tough.
Betty's Fireside was like the worst one of all of them.
Yeah.
I only did that once, and I actually did okay. That was a legendarily bad gig in Denville,
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And it's still there. I like every place that I don't perform at anymore to be out of business.
Yeah.
City Steam in Hartford finally closed.
Did it really?
I've been praying for years because they wouldn't bring me back there.
Did that close?
Yes, it did.
They used to be Brown and Thompson.
Yeah, it's done. They stopped.
There was a gig in
It's
Harvard
done.
called Brown and Thompson's.
For a
John
million-
Shula booked
million
it.
years. It was going for, I think it was 25 years that gig probably went for.
Yeah, when did it close?
Like a month ago.
Wow, the whole the
No,
business
the whole
closed.
the place is still there. It's going to become like some kind of a brewery or something.
Ah.
But no more comedy. But they have the Funny Bone in Manchester.
So that shut them down.
That shut them down
Good.
finally. The Phil Selman curse finally hit.
Yeah,
Sometimes it takes a while.
It takes a while, but it happened.
It does.
So, Sam, Phil would be up on stage and he had his watch on. If he was featuring, he would do middle and he would do 30 minutes. And he would just he'd look at his watch like 9 times during the set. I have 20,
Now I look at my watch 8 times.
He's like, I have 23 minutes left.
He would say that to the
Yeah, he goes,
audience.
I still do that. That's part of my charm.
He goes, I hate all you and I got 3 minutes left. And then he'd go into his next joke. It was the best.
Now, Phil, I mean, you guys. It seems like you and Florentine are all friends and everything. Why did the falling out happen? You think it's
because they canceled. When I said to him, you
Yeah.
should die, I said I should have let you die. Once again, I've said probably worse things to you, but for some reason that seemed to bother him. So
You took that personally, Florentine?
No.
Hey, no, because I remember you were working with Dice at the Beacon, and can you get me in? No, there are no free tickets available, and I know, and you wouldn't get me in there. And I said he's turned on me.
Wow, you didn't get him tickets?
You remember like when you I remember the time like when you were having your child, and I sent you a nice message. I said, "Do you know who the father is?"
Oh, yeah. I
and
do
we
remember
went
that.
back and
Yeah,
forth.
that was funny.
Yeah, that's right. Well, how old is your kid now?
He's 9.
He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 30 by now.
Have you ever come close? Are you in a
Come close
relationship
to what?
now? Kids
No.
or having?
No, I go to the Asian massage parlors in Flushing.
Oh, you do.
I have a whore named Jing Jing. I literally have a card like Subway. Every time I go there, she X's out one of the things, and the 10th time is free. I'm up to 3 times. True.
How much is it?
$120. I will not pay more than $120. That's the what I
Does
will
she
pay
give
for
you?
sex.
Do you go for the full massage?
No, I don't need a massage. I just need to be blown and fucked.
Oh,
There's no massage. I can massage myself.
Right, but I like to. I'd rather massage first and then get get
nice,
the
nice
hand-
massage.
No, if that's what you want, but I have priorities. I'm very busy. I've got got to get prepared for my next time to come back here in 2 years. I'm a busy man. Selman's a very busy man.
I feel so naive. I assumed it was just a massage and maybe at the end a hand release, but you're saying it's
You're
far
a
more
Jewish
than that.
guy. You've never been to a massage parlor? Come on.
He's not Jewish. He just
He's
looks
not,
Jewish.
he's not Jewish?
No, Sam's not
No.
Jewish.
No, I'm not.
No, he's actually
Oh,
anti-Semitic.
I don't like him anymore then. I thought he was a Jew.
No, he looks Jewish.
Okay.
Phil, I noticed I was looking at your Twitter because that's how you really got in touch with us. You were trying to get the Phil Selman Twitter army to gather up and let us know that you wanted to come back on the show.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you could have just asked. And that
I
really
did.
was-
I have been asking. I thought I was Brennan. I
No.
thought I was Kevin Brennan.
Phil and I were going back and forth, and we'll make it happen. I'm glad to have Phil back.
I'm glad to be back. The only
But
man
here's
who's
my
ever
que-
helped me. Jim Norton is the only person in real show business that has ever helped me.
Why does nobody help you? Because you've worked with Chris Rock, you've worked with Adam Sandler, you've worked with Jerry Seinfeld. Why is Jim Norton the only one that's ever helped you?
Because Jim Norton is a saint and a god.
I see.
But you booked all these famous
I've given
guys,
up. I've
right?
given up on Adam Sandler. I'm happy to say I have finally given up. And what pleases me is every time when I go to the movies, because I go to the movies a lot, and every time they show that coming attraction for that Cut Gems movies, people go, "He's not a serious actor. That's going to suck." And I get very pleased.
You're happy when
I'm
they
very
say
happy about that. Yes, yeah, Adam Sandler. I've given up on Adam Sandler, and I'm not chasing anybody anymore. I'm old now. My birthday. My birthday was last week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm somewhere between your age and Voss's age. We won't
Oh.
say exactly how old I am, but my car got hit on the day of my birthday, and I got sick.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I went to a birthday party for a friend who has the same birthday as mine. I come out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody knocked my mirror off down on the Lower East Side. $500. I'm screaming at these 9 feet tall garbage men. Who hit my fucking car? I'll kill you! And they're like getting scared. I go into a bodega. I'll kill every one of you motherfuckers. Who hit my car? I thought somebody stole the mirror because the pack piece because I'm paranoid. But
Yeah.
it got hit. My body shop guy said it was hit. $500 that cost.
What'd you get for your
Did you-
birthday?
I bought myself an iPad.
That's nice.
Yeah, and that's
So your birthday cost you about $1,500.
No, it cost me $500. I bought it on Groupon. It was $140.
The iPad?
Yeah, the iPad. Yeah.
Is it a new one, a Pro?
It's like a reconditioned one. I just want to look at porn on it. I don't want to do anything. I just that way I don't have to. I can stay in the bed and jerk off without having to get up to the computer.
Smart.
Do you get your massages from Groupon too?
No, those are real massages. You don't want those.
So they suck and fuck for 120?
No, for 80 they'll suck and fuck you, but for the extra 40 they go the extra distance.
What's the extra distance?
Intercourse. I must have intercourse. I can't come from a blowjob.
You really
I
can't?
cannot come from a blowjob. Unless if it was Jim Florentine or Artie Fletcher.
You can stay hard in a condom?
Huh?
You can stay hard in a condom?
Oh yeah, sure. I've been
Do you
with so
wear-
many hookers. I've been with. I know you're a man who's been with some hookers too, and
Yeah.
you've never paid for it, have you?
No, never.
Yeah,
no,
sure,
hookers.
that's right. Of course he has. But you were married, so God knows you've paid for it. But anyway, now,
Phil,
of course
do
you
you
come
use-
with a hook with a condom on there. Actually, the last time and the thing is, she like disinfects my cock first with I don't know what. I think she's using Orange Glow or Cheetos because when I come home it's yellow. But well, that's because she's Asian. But anyway. Because in Amsterdam, it's like 50. You know, the first time I went to Amsterdam, I had this horrifying incident, which happened, which they did in the Deuce Bigelow movie. This blonde with these long boots, like from the knee to the foot. I'm like, fuck her, and I grabbed her, and the leg came off.
Oh.
And I was mortified because generally 2 arms and 2 legs is usually just what I'm looking for. And she goes, I had an accident at Euro Disney. Do you want some of your money back? Because I couldn't come when one of the legs was gone, and I was mortified. And then they did that in Deuce Bigelow, so I guess I'm not the first person that happened to.
Did you take your money back?
No, I didn't. I felt bad for
Did you keep
her.
fucking her?
No, it kind of went limp. That's about it. The leg coming off just did not please me. She was beautiful. She was blonde, and then she was up. It was a spiral staircase, so the leg worked well, but it was horrifying.
Did they
and
play-
then I go, is anything else going to come off after that leg came off?
I don't know how you keep a rod in a condom. I'm fascinated with you guys that can fucking
Oh, yeah.
condoms.
Absolutely,
Jim
yeah.
can, of course. Sam has done it.
Yes,
You
many
can't.
times.
You can't kill him with a condom.
Ah,
on?
my dick. It's like a slug. Can you wear a rubber, Troy?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow.
Now, do you Phil? Do you wear a condom every time because you're
What,
paying for
you
sex?
mean with hookers? Yeah, all the time with hookers. Yes. But
Yes.
like, if I pick up a girl somewhere, I'm not gonna wear a condom. I don't.
Yeah,
care.
but how often is that really happening?
What does that mean?
What is this? A guy, where is he? Is he in some bunker? Where is he? Seriously, where is he? Is he in the witness protection program? What's going on here? Where is he?
I'm in Chicago. I'm in
Why?
Chicago.
Why are you in Chicago?
I was working in Chicago last night, and so I'm here doing the show this morning, but I have to do it out of Chicago.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that.
Do you let him play with your ass?
No, I don't.
The massage?
No, that's not for me.
No?
No, I don't like.
You're not
why,
into analingus at all?
No, certainly not.
Not even a finger in there?
No, the only time I ever had a finger in there was when I went to the urologist, and I'm still not pleased about that. I used to have this Russian urologist with these big hands, and it was very painful. But he died, and now there's an Asian guy working there. Once again, the small hands.
Nice slender fingers.
Yeah, don't go to a urologist. But this is a tip, boys. Don't ever go to a urologist that's got big hands, because it's just not a pleasing circumstance. You might enjoy that, but I do not. I wasn't prepared. I literally wasn't prepared. I mean, I was like fisted. It was
Never again.
Never. Well, every 6 months, but unfortunately, that's for medical reasons.
So your health is good.
Yes, it is very good.
You go often. That's smart.
I go to every doctor. I had a colonoscopy a couple of weeks ago. Get everything taken care of.
Do you have to pay for that out of pocket, or do you have insurance?
I have insurance.
Because a lot of times, if you want tests, there's tests I want to get just to make sure everything's good, but you got to pay for them because the insurance is like, well, you don't need to scan for this yet or for that.
Oh, God knows I
Right.
didn't want the colonoscopy, but this was the third one that I had. So, and of course, nobody would come and pick me because I have no family or friends. But I had to wait while somebody came to get me.
How come you have no family or friends?
Because why don't you
Phil,
tell
like-
me? You already said about the friends part. You get the friends part, the family part. Because there's nobody. My mother died. My father's in Florida, and there's nobody else. Just
But
me.
you've interacted with so many people, Phil. Like you've seen people coming up,
I'm like
coming
looking at
down
it.
in the middle.
Can he see us? Can
Oh,
he
yeah.
See?
I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to know though. How does a guy like you, who interacts with so many people and has such a long, storied career, you have guys like Norton and Florentine who have all these great stories about you coming up. How can you get to this point in life and have no friends?
You tell me. I don't know. I don't know. When I was younger, I was not a nice man, I guess I should say, and I may have instead of burning bridges, let's say I burned transportation systems. And as I get older, I guess I get calmer and gentler. I don't really scream and like I did a show on Saturday it was a 50th birthday party for a Puerto Rican plumber. And there were like 40 kids there and like 30 Latin people, and I killed. It was totally clean.
It was great?
And then I start going, how many people here have satellite radio? And of course, none of them even had radios, so it didn't work as far as that goes. But I mean, I'm kinder and gentler now.
But that's usually
but
a
a minute
disastrous
ago-
gig.
I did really well. And they had a Latino comic who bailed that was going to do it for free.
Who, J.J. Ramirez?
No, maybe. I don't know who it was. And it was at the Westport Inn, where the treehouse used to be.
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
nothing going on there now at all. It's like they're rebuilding the whole place.
At least
but-
it was a place, though, and not a living room. Like a lot of times, birthday parties are at
Right,
somebody's
right.
fucking house.
Yikes.
Right.
Phil, a minute ago, I mean, I believe you that you're kinder and gentler, but a minute ago you said that on your birthday, your car mirror got knocked off and you went into a bodega and threatened to kill
Well,
everybody.
somebody damaged my property.
Oh,
I think that isn't that not acceptable?
Well, I don't know why you would think that people in the bodega.
Because it was
took
right
your
in front of the bodega, and they probably saw it. They were like looking outside there. They were probably selling crack in that bodega. We'll let him hit the Jew's car. We'll let him destroy the Jew's car, and then
It's an anti-Semitic attack.
it was an anti-Semitic attack. Yes.
Do you have any gigs coming up?
Yes, I do. I'm working with Bob Levy this Saturday at Tiff's.
Oh, I love Bobby. Where's Tiff's?
Tiff's in Morris Plains, New Jersey.
How's he doing? I know
Jim,
he's.
you've been there before, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it like December 21st.
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Is
it's good.
it nice?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be December 20th and 21st at Fat Boys Comedy Club in Houston, headlining there.
Okay.
The last
Nice.
time I went to Houston, I was with Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, and Otto and George. So
Wow.
they were all dead. So I hope nothing happens to me this time. I got off the plane and Kinison gave me a hit of acid. And I don't remember doing shows. I came home with money. We may have robbed 7-Elevens. I'm not really sure what we did, but I did come home with money. And those guys are all dead, so I hope I don't have a problem there.
What year is that? That's early
God,
90s
I don't
or late 80s.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. It was in the 80s. It was a long, long time ago. He cost me a room once, Kennison. These mob guys go, we don't think this guy's. We don't like him. If he doesn't wait in your car, we're going to kill him, and we're not going to pay you. So I put him in my car with a vial of weed. It was a tremendous. He smoked it all. He smoked the whole thing, and they did not find him amusing.
They didn't.
No, they did not.
Phil's one of the acts. Like, I can watch him over and over again. I love watching him because he'll snap on stage. He's angry with the
Yeah, 'cause
audience.
it's all like working off the crowd now. It's all like
Yeah.
screaming and carrying mine now. It's all more of that kind of stuff now. Like I have a website, Corporate Roaster. It's all about that kind of stuff. stuff now.
Let's go to that website and see it. I have not seen your website.
I still remember some.
CorporatePhilSalmon.com, CorporateRoast.
I still remember some of your jokes.
What were they?
I don't know. If I tell him and he's still doing them, he's going to be mad.
Oh, yeah,
Do you remember,
that's true.
Do you remember my impression of a frog accountant?
Yes,
Yep.
a frog accountant.
Frog accountant. Debit, credit. Debit, credit. Thank you. Save for the end. That kills when there's an accountant in the audience.
Because he would do that joke. That's what he would just save it for the end. Like
I still say that. Is this not the best show in wherever the hell I am? And then I might add, I did a show in some inbred place in Newburgh on Thursday, and some guy's very vague about what he does for a living. I go, what do you do, paint houses? And then I go, that's a reference to the movie The Irishman. And this woman goes, what's the name of the Irishman movie? I go, it's called The Irishman. It's after the third time, I'm not dealing with a lot of. Oh, there it is. Comedian Phil Selman is for the professional corporate roaster. There it is.
Do you prepare before you corporate roast?
Yeah. I prefer any kind of a roast. When birthday, they give me stuff about the people. I'll do. I prepare. I work on the stuff.
Yeah, they're not. It's hard to do when everyone knows each other and you're the only comic. That's a rough one to do. Jeff Ross is good at those too. Just going in there.
Jeff Ross, who used to come to the Phil Selman roasts, and we would boo him off, and now he's the roast master general.
Oh, you guys would boo him off?
He used to come. Yeah, you guys both came to my parties. Remember?
I remember those.
Phil Selman birthday parties. I had to stop having them because there were no more friends left.
Yeah, does Jeff Ross still hang out with you and go like, "Oh, I remember the old days. You guys would boo me."
I just
It was
bother.
all-"
It upsets me he's so successful. That's worse than Adam Sandler about Jeff Ross.
Really?
Why?
Jeffrey Lipschitz, because he's I should have been me.
You think you
Jeff
could have
Ross-
Jeff's career?
I'm better than him. Fine, I'm better at roasting people than he is.
Yeah, but he's very, very famous for it. I mean, when you think
You had
roasting,
to add that third fucking very in there, didn't you, Sam?
He is good. Jeff's a good roaster.
He's very likable too. Maybe
It's
that's
Are you
what it
saying
is.
I'm not likable, Florentine?
I mean,
I
I'm
think you
surprised-
are.
I'm surprised you were able to get CorporateRoaster.com and that Jeff Ross didn't already own it. It's almost one of those things. Like I'm sure there have been situations you've been in where a business would hire you to be the roaster, and they're like, "Oh, we got this guy Phil Selman. He's going to come in
I
and roast
actually have
us."
people thinking I'm going to bring chicken. Seriously.
I figure
like I'm fucking Kenny Rogers. Fucking Kenny Rogers Selman. Yes, the roaster. Yeah, what do you want that the dark meat or the white meat?
I figured that they would come to you and they'd be like, "Oh, he's going to do like what Jeff Ross does."
I do it. I was doing what Jeff Ross does before fucking Jeff Ross.
Oh,
when he was Jeffrey Lipschitz.
Okay, well, all I know
That's his
is
real
when
name.
It is, yes.
When I see on TV, I see Jeff Ross. I see he's got historical roast. He's got a Netflix show roasting. Did you know?
No, I did not. I don't have Netflix. That's why I went to the movie theater to see The Irishman. I don't have Netflix.
Where'd you see it?
You should get Netflix.
I saw it in the movie. They actually showed it in the movie theater in Suffern, where I live.
Oh, yeah.
And they filmed it on that street. They actually
Oh.
filmed there, like when you were going and shaking down different businesses, so you could see the marquee in the background. And then everybody claps every time. I mean, come on, give me a fucking break. Nobody knows. Who cares? Like it's like one of those big old theaters, like there was
Yeah.
a vaudeville theater.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
you can
so-
see the
yeah.
theater.
So I was
in
playing
the
there.
actual
You can
shot.
see the marquee in the background. They film a lot of movies. They did the Meyerowitz, the one with Adam Sandler and Ray Romano, the Meyerowitz thing.
Oh, that was very good.
Oh, yeah, they film a lot of stuff because it looks like
That was good.
looks like an old town. Woody Allen, I remember, he filmed Zelig there, and I
Oh.
walk up and I go, "You're Woody Allen." He goes, "No, I'm not." Of course, it was Woody Allen, but that was the marrying the Asian stepdaughter days.
Didn't you book Ray Romano in the beginning?
I
too?
get Ray Romano, Chris Rock, and Adam Sandler. I gave them all three of them their first paid gigs.
Did any of them talk to you anymore?
No, nobody talks to me. Roseanne mentioned my name on the Arsenio Hall show. If I wasn't, she goes, "Well, if you weren't a big star, what would you be doing? I'd be working for Phil Selman." Arsenio said, "Who?" And she goes, "I rest my case." And I tried to contact her, but I guess Tom Arnold was afraid I was going to try to steal her away from him.
Jim, you and I got to talk to Ray Romano just recently at the Irishman premiere. That was fun.
We did, yeah. Ray's
doing very, very well.
He is. He's a great actor. I mean, he's actually really good.
I never tried to get a hold of Ray Romano. Chris Rock still owes me money. He didn't make it to a gig, and I said he owes me $75. I go, "I'll take a check."
How much does he owe you?
$75.
$75.
I had a gig right outside the Lincoln Tunnel. He went to the Jersey Shore. And never made. He kept calling up and laughing because he couldn't find it. And it cost me money. Joe Vega did an hour and a half, and Nancy Parker was terrified that they were going to end up in a ravine somewhere.
How funny is Vega? Vega was one of the naturally funniest guys ever.
Great. Yeah, Joey
He
Vega.
could literally just sit on a stool and fucking. He didn't care what anybody did in front of him. He was really amazing.
Every time
He's
I
still
worked with
amazing.
him, he'd go, "This is my cousin." Because he was married. And every girl, "That's my cousin."
Yeah.
Because he would always have a different girl on the side there.
Always hot too.
Yes, always hot.
Fucking Vega always
Yes,
had hot girls.
yes.
I remember
Phil did-
another one of Phil's
Oh, go ahead,
jokes.
Jim. Yeah.
Which one?
He said, I had a dream last night. I was a tailpipe. I woke up exhausted.
Yes.
I loved it. I still remember it 15 years later.
Phil, do you know that Chris Rock put Jim and Chris Rock put Jim and me, Norton and me in his movie? That was fun, right, Jim?
Oh, yeah. That High Five movie?
Yeah, the
Is that
top
what it was
five,
called?
Yeah.
Top
Top
five.
five.
High Five.
Top
yeah,
five.
Top five.
Yeah, that movie made about $8. Not because of you guys.
No,
but-
I understand.
It's just
Yeah,
a fun
they shot it
experience,
in their studio.
Oh, they shot it here?
Yeah, me,
Yeah.
Sam, and Anthony were in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Not,
cool, man.
okay. I mean, I guess.
It was nice.
Have you tried to reach out to him?
To who?
Chris?
I
Yeah,
saw
about
him.
the
I
money.
saw him at a Christmas party at Stand Up New York, and he goes, "I haven't got any money. Give me a check."
You
Some kind of a
confronted him about the
writing.
money?
I confronted him about the
You
money.
did?
Of course I did. I've been known to get physically violent when somebody owes me money. I remember Melvin George. I was going to kill Melvin George. He paid me. He owed me money, Melvin George.
How much did he owe you?
Like $100. I have it all. But back in the days when I booked all those things, that people would have to send me the commissions, and I kept very good track of it because
You
Ross
did.
couldn't do that. Ross
Yeah,
is
but
busy.
Phil,
Yeah.
do you ever think that maybe it's not worth it? You
What?
know what I mean? Like maybe getting this angry is not worth
I'm
75, 100 bucks.
calmer and gentler now. As I said, I don't get as upset anymore.
I see.
I am kinder and gentler.
But
now.
you wanted your money. If you
I
got-
wanted my money. It
know.
wasn't right. It wasn't right. They shouldn't have kept my money.
Yeah, if somebody owes you, somebody owes you.
You shouldn't be taken advantage of, I don't think.
No, I don't think anybody should. I have a guy who did body work on my car. He owes me $2,000. I'm going to get him one day. I'm waiting.
How does he owe you money if he did body work?
Because he did a bad job and I had to go pay. I hit a deer. I hit a deer in Paramus by Kohl's. There's no fucking deer by Kohl's. They must have been shopping or something. And I thought it was going to go through the windshield and kill me. I saw my life flash before my eyes, and it wasn't very interesting. But then it flew like over the roof, the hood, and then it looked like I hit a person. Somebody goes, "Did you call the police?" I don't think the deer had insurance. I know it had dough. Anyway. But this guy, so he did bad work on my car, and I got a judgment. And of course, that doesn't mean you ever collect, but I'll get the money eventually. It's on the list.
Oh, you did get the judgment.
I got the judgment, but I didn't get the money. So I put him out of business. He wasn't a licensed body shop, so they came in with guns and they fined him $10,000. I put him out of business.
And he should have just paid you.
Yes, he should have. He should have just done the work the right way.
Done the work proper.
Right. He didn't match the paint. The piece was. He goes, "It's the sunlight." I go, "It's the sunlight that's showing me it's not right."
Were you happy to put him out of business?
Yes. See, the
Yes.
problem was he was an Irish body shop guy. You have to go to an Italian guy for body work. There are just certain ethnicities you need. You want a
Right.
Jewish accountant. You want an Italian guy who's going to kill somebody for you. There are just certain things you need certain ethnicities
Right.
for.
And Irish is not the body shop.
No, certainly not.
nationality.
He was. Yeah, he had been arrested for like drunk boating over the weekend. Never a good sign.
No, not at all.
No.
Have you ever thought, Phil, about taking some of these disputes and taking them to one of those court
Yes,
TV
I was
shows?
on People's Court. I was actually
Were
on
you?
People's Court, and I lost.
What were you
I was
on for?
What
literally-
happened? I agreed to do a be a wedding MC for a young black couple, and I'm not a wedding MC. So they go, "You don't have to do anything. Just announce the people, the names, and maybe just get up and dance." So I always get paid up front. I have to be paid up front. And they didn't pay me up front. They go, "We're honorable people." So after about an hour, the woman comes up and goes, "We'll give you half." I go, "I need all my money." So I stayed the whole time, and when it was over, the mother started screaming, "You're a con man! You're a con man!" Started screaming at me in the middle of the wedding. So I went and filed in small claims.
Why'd you say you were a con man?
I said, "I'm evidently not a successful one because you're not paying me." Because I wasn't a wedding MC. I'm still not a wedding MC. You know,
Did you not do it right? Is that what it was?
I didn't. Are you going to play the so-and-so game? No, because I'm not a wedding MC. I wore a suit. I was very professional. It was like 100 degrees outside. So I go on People's Court, and I lost because I thought they were going to let me be funny. And I brought my late friend, the Uncle Jimmy Mack, who died with.
With Tracy Morgan.
And he had nothing to do with the case, but I had a 6'5" black man as a visual. I felt it would help me. That
Oh, you guys were friends.
Yeah, we were very close friends, and I thought I was going to be funny, and she just made me look like a schmuck, and I lost. But I still got more money than I would have by going to court.
How did she make you look bad?
She just did. She didn't. They didn't side. You know.
Was it Judge Marilyn Milian?
Yes.
Yes.
Where was that
I was
shot?
just
In Connecticut, like in where they do Jerry Springer. The courtroom is made out of cardboard. And I had my final words at the end, you know, with the guy. He goes, "What are your final words?" I go, "Life is all about karma. When she gets divorced and married next time, I will not come and MC that wedding."
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Do we see that, Troy?
I was looking for it.
No, you can't. You're not going to find that. I've paid people to destroy that.
Oh, it's not good?
Not my best hour.
What year is it?
It was like I guess about 5-6 years ago.
I was literally, just as we were talking, thinking about how great you would be as a person.
I've
on the
always
People's
won.
Court.
I've won. That's like the only time that I always win because I put on the suit and they think I'm a lawyer. You know, it was when I graduated from college. I was either go to law school or become a comedian. Obviously, I made the wrong choice.
Did you ever get married?
No.
No girlfriend?
Not at the moment, no. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break right now.
Why are you taking a break?
Because I just am. I'm a busy man. You know, I'm just a busy man. The internet dating is
That's
not
not
working as
true.
much. The internet dating is not working so much anymore. But
It's not.
I feel like in my declining years, which are like next week, I'll be looking to get married. No children, but definitely looking to get married. I was dating a 23-year-old 2 years ago.
What happened?
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't go to her high school graduation. It was over. I didn't want to meet her family. No, her college graduation. She was too young.
Are you faithful?
Yes.
You are.
I am faithful.
So you don't go to massage parlors?
Not when I'm involved in it. Not when I'm in a relationship.
So you hide the punch card?
I didn't have the punch card then. I have the punch card now.
It's been 2 years.
And to tell you, it's funny. When I went there the last time, she had an eye infection, so she's wearing these big sunglasses. And I'm fucking her when she's got these big sunglasses on. It was like a scene out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. This Asian broad's wearing sunglasses, and I'm fucking her. I guess the shine off my cock was too much for her.
She had an eye infection. Fucking thing.
I never touch above the neck.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's a hooker. It's a hooker.
I
don't want to
understand.
get diseased.
How long
No, that
usually
makes
last
sense.
with them?
Long enough, you know. And the thing is, she had the timer going, and I go, "Can you make me some food now, since there's still some time on the clock?"
Do you kiss them?
No, well, not that one, but you know,
Some girls do that.
I have kissed hookers in the past, but you know,
Yeah, me too.
not in recent.
You go
times.
down on them?
No, certainly not. Why? You don't do. No, you don't.
I
go,
have, sure.
No, you're one step above me when
I
it comes
have
to
in
that
my
guy.
life,
I don't
yeah.
go down on them. I don't.
So you go to the same one every time?
Well,
the
this
same
one I've
girl?
gone to 3 times. I wanted to go out. I said, "It's my birthday. We should go out." And I said, "Oh, you only want me to see you when I'm paying you." I got nasty with her.
You did?
Yeah, but what did you say? What did she say when you said that we should go out? It's my birthday.
She said yes, but then I don't think she speaks English very well. So
But why would you get upset? That'd be like somebody coming to one of your shows and then being like, "Oh, I guess what? You only tell me jokes when I'm paying you." You'd be like, "Yeah, of course, that's my job." Like, why should she want
I
to?
think it's a different thing. Sex is a much more personal, intimate thing, as
Not
opposed
when
to
you're
my, as
paying
opposed to
for
my
it.
dick jokes. Are you comparing my dick jokes to my actual dick in sex? That's a different scenario, my friend. You're crossing the line wherever the fuck you are back there in that bunker that you're in Chicago.
I'm at AM 1160. Hope for your life.
Good luck to you. Anyway, hope for your life. Is
for your
that a
life.
religious? Is that a religious station? Hope for
I
your.
think it might be. I don't know.
It sounds like a religious, slogan.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
want to kind of be involved at this point with some nice
I'd like to get married.
25, 30-year-old woman, maybe a little,
I
35.
think 40. I think 40 is
Nothing
is
over
good.
40? What about a girl with kids or no?
No, I don't. I hate kids. I'm not a man. I don't want kids. I've gone out with women with kids, but I don't want someone.
Right, so you wouldn't marry a girl that has kids?
Not unless she had a lot of money.
Okay.
But a
As long
40-year-old.
as she could support those kids, and they're not my responsibility.
What's the oldest you'll date? Oldest woman you'll date?
46 and a half.
46 and a half?
Yeah.
But if you dated someone who's 46 and a half, would you still want to fuck 30-year-olds or 25-year-olds? or would
No,
you be
no,
okay?
the problem is after 6 months I get bored. That's just the way it is. I always get bored, and that's like my friends who are all married. Oh, that's just the way it is. Well, that's why I don't want to get fucking married.
Yeah.
because I got bored with a 23-year-old after 6 months, and I just had to end that.
But the single life gets boring too. Like the new pussy idea, like it does get boring after a while too. Just hunting, and then it's like there's so much downtime and periods of loneliness. You're like, this is not great either.
He doesn't have to hunt though. He's got the punch card.
Yeah, the punch card makes it easier.
Oh, the porn. The hunting. The porn subsidizes the hunting.
Do you do?
So just
do you go to
masturbating.
different ones, different girls at the massage parlor? or
I've
you
been to the
just-
same one for 3 times there, but next
But
time
they don't mind if you go to a different one, have sex with a different
Well,
one.
and next time it'll probably be a different one. I think. 'Cause now that she showed her true colors, that she only wants me to pay her.
But that's what the
Because she's a
relationship
paid
is, though.
hooker, because she's a whore. But still, I like to fantasize my
But they
pretty
like
woman,
you.
my pretty woman fantasy.
Yeah.
You thought she'd go out?
You go out with me, and then
On
my
your
friend
birthday.
goes, "Don't go out with you. The guys who are going to hit you over the head and steal your car." I go, "Please, it's not that sophisticated."
Oh, they think she'll set you up.
My friend thinks, I'm going to get set up. I'm not. She's got more to worry than I have to be concerned of her.
So why
I
don't
like
you
the-
want to? You want to? Sam, do you want an Asian wife or a girlfriend, or you don't care about?
I like it.
ethnicity?
I just have this Asian fetish. I
You
like
do?
these sharking videos where they rip off their clothes though in the streets in China.
I've seen those, yeah.
It really pleases me.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
It's tough. I like that you were talking to your friend about her though. It makes me feel like you have like feelings for her. That's very romantic. That you were sitting there with your friend going, "Yeah, I'm going to ask her out," and your friend was giving you this advice. That's very sweet, Phil.
Thank you.
Were you hurt when she said no?
Yes.
You were. How did she say no?
No.
I mean, she just came out with no?
Yes, it didn't even get beyond that point. We just didn't really go into any severe details there.
But you wouldn't
I mean,
like that
Norton,
anyway.
have
You
you-
wouldn't waste your time with that because the girl, you know that when she goes back, she's going to be fucking somebody. So why don't you go on a dating site?
No, I have done the dating sites.
you
Like
have?
I was actually dating a girl who was Chinese, who cleaned my house the best anybody ever did. The sex was good. She paid for everything, but she did work at a massage parlor, and she lied to me from the beginning. So that bothered me. If she was honest from the beginning, it would have been okay. But
So you're okay with some girl working at a massage parlor jerking
as long as
guys
she's
off?
bringing home a paycheck, I don't care whose cock she's sucking.
See, that would make me jealous. It wouldn't make you jealous?
No,
No?
because
Wow.
that's business.
But then do you kiss her when she comes home?
Only if she washes her mouth.
That would drive me crazy. So, like, during the day, you'd be like, she could be fucking somebody right now. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't bother you?
I dated, when I was in my 20s, I dated a very, very high-class hooker that I met at a comedy workshop who was a Playboy bunny and who had like fake tits. I think she was one of the first people that had fake tits. I didn't even realize at the time. And I would drive her to places when she would fuck people, and she would go, "Oh, I fuck you because you're so good." And I went out with another one who was a dominatrix who didn't charge me.
How long did you date them for?
The first one probably for about a year, the second one for about 6 months. But she was the second one was the alcohol bisexual bulimic coke dealer.
Oh,
a lot of issues going on there.
Yeah, that's a lot of baggage. All those. One of those things
I
is
would
hard.
take her out to dinner, and she would order a lobster. I said, "You're gonna throw it up. Just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich."
Phil, when you're dating these sex workers, do you like to hear the
When
stories?
I'm dating these sex workers, it sounds like an episode of Dateline. What the fuck? When you're dating these sex workers,
That's what they are. They're sex
but I don't
workers,
really
and you
date.
date
I only
them.
dated like one or two. I haven't made it a
That's
habit
true.
of
You
dating.
just told us too.
Yeah, but that was like a million years ago. That was a very, very, very
but
long time ago.
My question is, when you were dating these sex
When you have.
workers,
Yes.
yeah,
It didn't bother me. No, I
do
don't
you
care.
like them to tell you the stories? Do you have a bit of a cuckold
no,
thing
I don't
going
want to
on?
talk about my stories either. I don't want to talk about my bad shows. I want to hear about their bad fucks. We'll call it even.
You just kind of.
I don't. I just dropped her off. I remember. Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
Okay.
Travis, did that dump go through? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Only
He
'cause
was the Jeffrey Epstein of his time, shall we say? But he was a billionaire.
Some guy was.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah,
Okay.
Allegedly.
So you would drop her off,
I would drop her off there at the townhouse that he lived in.
and you'd pick her up
Well,
afterwards?
she'd come back on her own.
Okay.
I'd wait for her at the place there. She lived on 31st around from the corner from...
That's a nice boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she lived.
That is
she
a nice
lived, There used to be a
boyfriend.
club called the Good Times. That was the first place I started at.
Where is that? Where was
It's
that?
now the Moondance Diner. It's on 31st and 3rd.
Okay, I've heard of Good Times. I never went there.
Yeah, it was owned by Rick Newman. Rick Newman was one of the owners of that place.
I knew him. Didn't he live on the Upper East Side? Or he also
He owned Catch a Rising Star.
Right? Yeah, I would
yeah.
see him around. He was always very nice to me. But I don't do the club, but I kind of knew him.
And then there was a guy named Lonnie who used to run Scores.
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
Lonnie. Yeah,
Lonnie
I knew
was the
Lonnie.
manager of that place. He said, "Selman, you shouldn't be doing comedy. You're not a funny man."
That was bad advice.
Very bad advice.
So what year did you start?
Well,
I started in 1981.
It was 81. I just saw a picture. It might have been Joey Cola on Facebook, but it was a great picture from like the old East Side Comedy in 1981. Actually, it was fucking Eddie Murphy and what was his name? Woods, Bob Woods.
That was the first death that bothered me. I was very close to Bob Woods.
I never met him. He died.
He was
I think
a great guy.
Before he died in the late 80s.
He died
right?
at the Carousel in Ocean City. He died in 1988.
Yes, but Otto used to talk about him all the time.
I loved Bob Woods, and I worked with Eddie Murphy too. Eddie Murphy tried to have me thrown out of the comic strip once.
Did you think that he was going to make it, Eddie Murphy, when
sir,
you saw him?
Of course not. I never thought anybody was going to make it. I saw Star Wars in a sneak preview. I go, this isn't going to be successful. what do I know? I know absolutely nothing. And then myself and Bob Woods, we went to Eddie Murphy's house. He lived in Alpine. I used to have a room called Susie's. I think that was before both of your times. But and Eddie Murphy lived like up the road, and he had a big gate around the house, and he had a camera, and he goes, "Bob Woods, you allowed in my house. Phil Selman, I don't want you in my house, you motherfucker." So I was glad to see that the man became successful and still dislikes me.
So he didn't let you in the house?
He did not let me. He did not let me in the house.
No.
Well, Phil, you probably thought you were going to make it, though, right?
I never thought I was going to make it. I never thought I was going to make it. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. So you're not 100%
This is the
off.
pinnacle. This is the pinnacle of success for me right here. This is the biggest thing I've done. And you guys laugh.
Yeah.
So
Norton,
the picture.
have you ever? I was going to ask you, Jim.
Yes.
If you have ever developed like girlfriend feelings for any of the many women of the night, or people of the night will say, that you've been with in
Many
your time?
times.
Have you?
Oh, many times. I fall
so
in love.
it just happens. You can't.
Yes.
What can you do?
Because then you think like, oh, they like me. They really like me. And
I
it's,
like
you
them.
know,
Like I
yeah,
never thought
yeah.
they were shitty or disposable. Like I always liked sex workers. Like I have affection for them. I always
Have you
wanted to go out to eat with them, and I loved them.
Have you gotten turned down by people? Like, have you tried to cross that line to go from client to boyfriend or whatever?
I have, but again, eventually I just get too jealous. I can't do it. I've had a few that were willing to go out over the years. And it's usually interesting, and like I'll always talk after. They would come over. I would always hang out for an hour or two and talk and hang out. Like I loved hanging out with them after. And like, hey, you hungry? You want to grab some food? Like let's just. It almost like it felt like a real date after a while. Like you want to just go out and do something normal. But yeah, after a while, it's like it just got to be. I was too jealous.
Yeah, I mean, I would drive me crazy.
Yeah, once you really like somebody. At first, it's kind of cool that they like you for real and they're willing to spend time with you. That's not like work. But then, once that gets old, then all of a sudden you really like them, and you think you want to move it forward. You get too jealous.
The first time that like they missed something that you were doing or some kind of plans with you, and you wanted them there, and it's because they're off having sex with somebody else for money, is when it would start to get like, oh, I don't like this.
The first time you're like, hey, I was trying to call you, and she comes home and she has tapioca on her shirt. You're like, oh, that's right, you were at work.
But that wouldn't bother you, Phil? That wouldn't bother Phil?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. If I know from the beginning, I don't. If they lie to me, afterwards. Like I used to go to this place. There used to be a place in Patterson called the Blue Goose, and it was like a go-go bar. And once again, 120 a pop there. And I used to I had sex with all of them there. And they always used to text me. They all wanted me to go out with them, but that I just didn't.
You didn't want
was
to do it.
Brazilian. That was when I was in my Brazilian phase.
Sure.
I went from Brazilian girls to Asian girls, and I've pretty much run out. I don't know what's next. There's no ethnicity left. I
How
have
about
the
white
Indian
girls?
girls.
Black
I've
girls?
exhausted all the white.
Yeah.
I've exhausted all the white girls and the black girls. I've been been with every ethnicity. I've never been with an American Indian, but I was with a girl from India, and
Never
smelled
like
like
Native
curry.
American.
Smelled like curry. It wasn't pleasing.
Okay, so was it?
Smelled like a cab driver, basically.
Oh my God.
Phil,
now
how
you're
much you
jumping-
think? How much money you think you've spent on hookers? Would you say if you had a guess in your life? Massage parlors, hookers, all that stuff.
A goodly amount. A goodly amount.
50 grand.
Probably enough to put a kid through college for possibly back in the days when it was.
So why don't you go back on the dating site? I mean, it's free, isn't it? Just to go on Tinder or
jump on
They
Tinder,
were
yeah.
all they were all the same. I haven't tried Tinder. I'm ready to try Tinder.
Get on Tinder.
Well, how about 90 Day Fiance? Did you ever see that? You
Yeah,
could
I,
maybe.
don't know. I didn't like that one. I don't know. I didn't care for that show. I watched it and I didn't really. Care
It
for
didn't
that
resonate,
one. No,
okay.
it did not.
Why?
I don't know. It seems a little contrived.
Some of it is, yeah. The original, the older ones, where you didn't know if the couple was going to work or not work. That kind of now it feels like every one is a
Right.
train wreck. It's like, all right, I like a train wreck, but I like to see a good one too, because then that makes the train wrecks a little less predictable, as opposed.
But what do you think? You're gonna try Tinder?
Yeah, I'm going to try Tinder.
Tinder's a
I
little
hear-
for young people, though. Phil, I don't know if it's going to work.
Are you saying I'm old, Jim?
No, but I'm just saying.
Tinder is for young
That's a good
people.
You
point.
got to Bumble is the one you're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, most. Yeah.
Are
Well,
you- but you live-
I am 48 years old on my dating profile.
Of course you lie.
But I
yeah.
look young. I look. I'm
You look like you're in your
well
40s.
I'm well preserved.
What?
What?
But you're at. You're
Well,
at.
he's looking through the fucking periscope of a submarine. You can't see good from there. Look at that fucking. He's in a bunker. It's in a bunker.
I've met Phil. At no point in my life, I've met Phil in person once, and I'm talking to him here. At no point have I ever thought he was in his 40s.
I think Phil looks.
How old do you think I look? How old do I look there, Sam?
I would say mid to late 50s.
Fuck you. But anyway, I don't want to fuck you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference there.
Probably inching more towards late, but go on.
Whatever. It doesn't. He hurt me now. He's hurt me now. At least Voss isn't here this time. I'm very pleased that Voss is not here.
I would love Voss too, but I love when my old friends are all together. It makes me happy.
I know Voss longer than everybody. I have to say, Voss introduced me to Ross. I know Voss.
Did you know Voss when he was doing drugs? Or
Yeah, he was funny when he was doing drugs.
You saw. So you did
Oh, he
know
was
when-
much funnier when he was doing drugs.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that he let a guy suck his dick for drugs?
Shocker.
You're not surprised.
Don't most people that do drugs like that willing to do stuff like that? Yeah.
Did you know who's his friend that he used to, Frankie Bastille?
Frankie Bastille.
I didn't know him.
I knew Frankie Bastille. The first time we worked together, we drive down to the village, And he gives me this thing to smoke because I thought it was pot. You know, I've always been a big pot smoker. And I smoke it, and I literally feel sizzling in my head and see like stars. I go, what was that? He goes, that was angel dust. Angel dust? I don't want to smoke angel dust. And I was not happy about that. The Keith Richards of comedy, he was
Frank
known as.
Bastille,
Frank
yeah.
Bastille,
That
yes.
way, Voss talks about him a lot. There's guys like him and Woods. They died, I think, right before I got in, and I just.
Well, Bastille lasted a pretty long time. I mean, he was a heroin
Was
addict.
he into the 90s? Did he last?
Yeah, he lived into the 90s. He was the one who actually said he was going to die of cancer and then went on the Tonight Show, and then he didn't die. He was like the first person to do that scam. Or maybe
Really?
the first and last person to do that scam.
He said he had cancer?
Yeah, he said he had cancer, and then he got all this stuff, and then he didn't die.
That's pretty smart.
Do you still smoke pot?
Yes, I still smoke pot.
Yeah, you smoked from back in the day, from the beginning.
I haven't had a drink in 16 and a half years since I got arrested with Jimmy Walker of Good Times fame.
Why'd you get
That was my
arrested?
second drunk driving.
Oh, you were driving him?
No, we were working together. He's just bad luck. It was in Hudson, New York. That was my second drunk driving arrest. I had it spaced out like a bankruptcy.
Was it before or after the gig?
It was after the gig. I picked up two girls after the gig, and I was going to go to this house next door and have sex with them. And then the neighbor, the other person goes, "I don't know him. He can't come to my house." So the girl goes, "I live a mile from the place." So I drive them, and a cop pulled me over immediately.
Ah.
And I was not, shall we say, a cordial person. And they put the handcuffs on so tight that my wrists were black and blue for like 2 months.
So wait, they cuffed you, and you didn't get to fuck the girl?
No, and they're going, they were ugly. I go, I was going to fuck both of them.
Did you ever go back and fuck them?
I went back, and then they were ugly, and I didn't fuck them.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't had a drink in 16 and a half years.
All right,
Do you
so it
still
worked
hang out
out.
with? You still hang out with J.J. Walker?
God, no. That guy is just bad. Every time I hear the theme from Good Times, I feel the handcuffs. It's very disturbing.
I don't think I've ever done a gig with Jimmy Wall. I've met him. I think we did the Louis Anderson show back in like 94, 95. I don't think I've ever spent any time with him, though. It was just that.
And the first time I worked with him, I made the mistake of asking for an autograph, and it actually says in his rider, no free autographs.
Really?
No, 'cause Roger Paul handles him, Jimmy Walker.
Oh, Roger handles him?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how much did he charge you?
I wasn't going to pay him. Unless there was a blowjob involved, he wasn't getting any money.
Did he do the autograph?
I didn't take the autograph. I didn't want it. I wasn't paying to give him any money.
Oh, he said it will cost you?
No, he said it's going to cost you. He goes, I have to pay for it.
Wow. What a
I guess
dick.
he's trying to make that, Jimmy Walker was, Good Times was such a big show, and all those guys, I mean, he was like in Richard Pryor's era, all those guys knew each other, and I guess he just didn't make the money he wanted to make.
Well, the last season of that show, I heard he made $1 million.
Did he?
But he's got he's got a bit of a gamble. Allegedly has a bit of a gambling issue, I believe.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he works all the time. But and the thing is, I did another show with him somewhere, and he's selling all the merchandise. And he had a big poster of like all the people back, during the Good Time show.
Sure.
And then some young kid goes, "Which one were you?" And he points to the young girl because he doesn't look anything like he did in those days.
That's a long time ago.
That was 1975 when that show went off, I believe.
Wasn't he doing films too? Jimmy Walker was doing movies.
He was in Airplane. He was the squeegee guy cleaning the front of the cockpit there.
That's right. It's kind of like a throwback. He also had a few. I want to say a couple of. Didn't he do a Cosby movie or something too? Like he had a good run in the '70s, and it just didn't go much beyond that.
Artie Fletcher was just touring with Jimmy Walker.
Oh, was he?
A friend
as he should be.
What do you mean
The
by that?
Legends of Comedy. Artie Fletcher, another one of my creations. I'm waiting for him to die. When he's dead, it'll be the trifecta.
Why are you mad at Artie
Because
Fletcher?
he's never used me anywhere. I created Artie Fletcher. I created him.
Oh, so he has gigs and he won't use you in the gigs.
No.
Do you find that a lot of people don't pay it forward?
Yes. Or no.
Huh.
Yeah. Or no.
They don't.
Yeah. No, they do
They
not.
do not.
They
pay.
do not.
Yeah,
They do
yes,
not.
they
No.
do not.
They take and take, but they don't give when it's their turn to give.
Right. Nobody remembers the.
Sure. So he
Still to this day, at least once or twice a year, somebody says I ran into Adam Sandler and he asked about you. He doesn't want to actually directly speak to me, but he keeps asking about me.
Yeah, but
so-
see, he put like Chips Cooney in one of
I
his
know.
movies.
I know.
How is
Yeah.
Chips Cooney?
I haven't seen him in a while, but you
He's
put
all right.
Chips
He's
in.
all right. He's still around. He's okay.
Yeah.
I love him.
You never know. He might still put you in one of his movies.
But
Adam
do you think
Sandler.
that part of that might be because you didn't pay anybody very well? And
I
so
paid enough with the paying everybody. I paid nobody. No, I didn't put a gun to anybody's head. If you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to do it.
But
I did a gig with Jim. We did a gig in Rhode Island at the place where the people died in the fire.
You and I?
You
The
and I did a
station.
gig there at the station.
Oh, is that why they were calling that Great White Show the second worst thing that ever happened there?
Something like that. Because I remember I said, I go one match and this whole place goes up. Because it was all wood. The whole place was made out of wood. But you and I did that. And we were in Springfield with Vinnie Brand the weekend before that. And I remember I picked up a girl and you told me that you were listening to the wall and jerking off.
I don't remember. What a memory you have,
I remember everything.
We
I
did-
remember everything.
we
Yeah.
did that gig?
Yeah, in Springfield. We were it was for that Giggles and Bits.
Irv and
Right, Irvin Casey.
Casey also had Coast to Coast Comedy. It's the first paid gig I ever did. Was a $25 check from Casey, and I guess Giggles and Bits became their thing after that.
I think you didn't do a paid gig for me before that. I think
No, Coast to Coast was my first
Yeah,
one.
no, I brought Jim
$25
to
check.
his first gig, but I remember
Jamesburg.
the guy I brought to Jim's first paid gig. He saw him at this open mic that I was running in Jersey. He saw Jim on
Yeah.
stage, and I said, I brought this guy to open, and he saw Jim, and he took me to the back. He goes, I'm not putting that guy on stage. That guy talks about fucking his grandmother in church. He's a Nazi.
He thought it was a Nazi?
Yeah, he goes, he's a Nazi. He's not going on my stage. And I convinced him. I go, no, he won't do those jokes tonight.
He's still doing those jokes.
Wow, I didn't remember. I didn't know we did that gig where all those people died. Wow.
It was for Brian Deary. There was a guy named Brian Deary in Rhode Island. I believe he died.
So Jim was jerking off.
That's what he
listening?
said.
I
That's
probably
what he
was.
said.
That sounds like-
The image has always still been in my mind ever since there, and it is slightly disturbing. But
Wow.
and I didn't even fuck the girl. I think she was just like whining or something. I don't know. I don't believe she was just moaning like she wanted to get away from me. It wasn't even fucking me. You know?
Wow, I don't remember that gig at all. Did we go up together? Do you remember? Or did we meet
Yeah,
there?
you and I went up together. Vinnie Brand drove himself, and I've never played the Stress Factory. I might add. Vinnie Brand he used Dennis Ross, but I've never played there. But
So you're mad at Vinny too?
He doesn't.
Well, he's got another room in Connecticut.
No,
He
that's
does.
good. That's 2 rooms I can't play. Maybe he can open up more clubs I can't play.
But don't you think that
Laugh at
maybe
that
it's one of those things where, like, you know, when a young comic is coming up and just needs the work, and, you know, maybe certain people that are supposed to pay them are taking advantage
Will you
of the
stop with
fact that-
taking advantage? What are you? With the union here? I never took advantage of anybody. I fucking gave everybody work. Everybody.
But that might be why they're not so
you know what? $50
motivated.
in 1981. $50 was worth like $53.
That might be why they're not so motivated to continue on this relationship, because they think back and they realize, like, oh, that guy really didn't do that much for me. He kind of just took advantage of the fact that I was young. And would-
comedians who book rooms are like child molesters in prison. They're not they're not liked. They're not well liked.
Yeah.
Look at Joe Novick.
I remember Joe. It's funny. He's a politician now or
Yeah,
something.
he failed in show business. He might as well fail in politics.
I remember I did a gig for him in Massachusetts. It's weird the stuff you remember. And I was the MC, and there was a feature and a headliner who I don't remember. I think the feature was a woman, and I took my girlfriend Tina at the time with me. And Joey came up last minute because someone dropped out, and he's like, "Hey man, I got to take your room." I'm like, "But I'm supposed to have a room." He's like, "We only get 2 rooms, and I'm taking it because the other guy dropped out, so you have no room." So he left me and my girlfriend without a room, and I remember the feature let us stay with her. She got like 2
Wow.
beds in her room. I remember that. I just wish I remember who she was. But yeah, that was my memory
Wow,
of
yeah,
Joey.
that's shitty.
Yeah.
Now, look, one thing with Phil, yeah, he didn't pay great money, but you knew, like I said before, you knew going in.
You always got
and
paid.
You could have turned down the gig if you didn't like the money. And I had no
But when
problem with
you're-
it. I'm like, whatever he's making, he's been around a long time.
and
He's giving me
you
an
always
opportunity.
got food and drinks.
Yeah, we got food and drinks, and it was like $70.
We made a living doing Selman gigs. John Shula had a couple of gigs.
Yeah.
Phil. But those are the guys who I fucking made my living with. And Bob Levy took me everywhere, and Jim
Yep.
took me everywhere.
But there was a lot of people that were mad at Phil and his
Yeah.
partner Dennis because they didn't pay and
Yeah.
they felt like they should get more money. And Phil's like, look, this is what the pay is. Either fucking do the gig or don't.
See, we weren't headlining. Me and Jim back in those days were like hosting and maybe middling. So you didn't care. $50, $75. I was happy to be getting any comedy money. I didn't give a
Phil,
fuck.
do you think, looking back on it, that, you know, skimming off the top and taking that
I
extra
wasn't
money?
skimming off the top. Gee, what is this? This is a Bruder hearing? What the fuck? Why is he badgering me? Why is this fucking guy bothering? Guy who I never fucking had any dealings with is fucking torturing me. Why? What did I ever do to you, Roberts?
Do you think it was worth it?
Jesus. I hope you never get out of that fucking studio. I hope they fill it with water when you're done with the show. Jesus Christ.
Well, we do have to take a break.
Yes,
have
we
to
do.
Take
We'll
a break.
And we're hanging with
Phil-
Florentine and Phil Selman.
Yes, please stick around, Phil.
I will.
Hang out for the show. Of course, Phil Selman, you got a couple dates coming up,
Right,
right?
I'll be this Saturday with Bob Levy at Tiff's in Morris Plains. At
Morris
9 o'clock.
Plains, New Jersey.
That's
yeah.
a funny show. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Bob on stage in so long either.
And Florentine, the Creeps with Kids tour continues on?
Yeah, Friday night, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Saturday in Rahway, New Jersey. CreepsWithKidsTour.com.
And I will be the 12th, 13th, and make sure I get the right. 12th, 13th, 14th of December. I'm at Caroline's, and that's all I have until 2020. So stick around. Sam's in Chicago. Me and Jim are hanging out, and Phil Selman, who I'm happy you're back, Phil, is hanging out. This is a really enjoyable show, and we'll be right back.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts return.
I never don't want to hear this song.
Holy Diver.
It's
great.
always fucking good. I love it. I'm listening to Ozzy's Boneyard, which I listen to all the time, and I hear you. I love listening to your show. You play great stuff.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I like doing it, man. I can, pick out the songs I want to play and all that. And,
Ozzy was on the American Music Awards last night singing behind the guy with the tattoos on his face.
Post Malone. Yeah, we watched it.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
Travis, what's his name?
Travis
Sam?
Scott.
Travis Scott.
Jim Florentine is with us. Phil Selman is with us, a man that took Jim Florentine and Jim Norton from the
bowels of comedy hell to
the
superstardom, and Phil
obscurity.
Selman is in the bowels.
Yeah, no, Phil Selman is still
I had the
there in the
colonoscopy.
bowels.
The bowels are they keep coming.
It is like a family reunion this morning.
Yes.
Seeing the Norton and Florentine and Phil Selman all together. It's amazing, guys.
It's like the Rat Pack back together.
I love the
right.
guys I started with, man. Like the guys that Eddie Gambino. I saw him a few years ago.
He's still around.
Gemini, like all
Gemini's
these
still
guys that of course Levy. I love these guys that I probably wouldn't be a comic without all these guys. These are the guys that got me started.
Did you know, Phil Selman, that once while they were traveling together, I believe it was Jim Norton and Bob Levy ejaculated onto a television screen and left it for Jim Florentine to find. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm so glad you shared that with me.
Tracy's at the Bowman. That was the gig.
God, the Tracy's at the Bowman is where I brought Adam Sandler as my opening act.
Was it really?
That was my missed opportunity there. What happened at that scenario?
And that was a 3-hour car ride back and forth.
Friday night, there was a bachelorette party after the show. They wanted me and him to go hang out with them. I had food poisoning from the Maryland crab cakes. I was puking my brains out. The next day, he had Polaroid pictures of all these girls naked of him with them.
Oh.
I would have been in those movies. That would have been a bonding experience. That was my missed opportunity
It
in show
was.
business.
That crab cake ruined your life.
And then I'm outside throwing up, and this old woman goes, "Look at the drug addict comedian." I go, "It's your fucking crab cakes." That was my missed opportunity. Had I been with Adams, not to mention, I have been with 2 women at one time, but I've never been with like 10 women.
Sure.
And that was my failed opportunity. That was a bonding experience that I missed out on.
Yeah, that really would have. Because we still remember that. Jim was out banging a waitress, and me and Bob were back in the hotel room. We had pizza, and then just as a goof, we both jerked off on the television set. And Jim came back, and he just went beautiful and went to bed.
We were all
Unfazable.
sharing a room, and
I
I came
remember-
back, and it was. I go, "What's that on the TV?" I go, "We jerked off on the TV." I go, "Oh, beautiful." I'm like, "Okay."
I was booking some Holiday Inn somewhere, and Maurice had jerked off all over the room, literally everywhere. And I lost that gig after that. That gamey spew of that individual everywhere, and it was a different color.
I'd like to have Maurice on sometime. I haven't seen him. He's a guy I know for many, many years.
That guy's doing comedy for a million years.
He is, right?
Is he still doing it?
I don't hear his name anymore. I don't hear his name anymore.
I bump into him once in a while. I'll be at some event, and Maurice will be there. You see him from time to time.
I lost Iona College when I sent him there. I said, "Whatever you do, don't talk about abortion." And he opened with abortion jokes.
Oh, he did.
I had Ronnie Wilkerson there who went to jail for crack, and they liked him. But when they said, well, when he did it, it was a joke. Maurice meant it.
Is Ronnie Wilkerson still doing stand-up?
Yes, he looks really. He looks like the crypt keeper from Tales from the Crypt. He looks real bad.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a long time.
The third time to jail may have not been good for him.
What, was it recent?
Crack.
Recently or years ago?
Every time.
Oh.
Just
We
gets
did a
worse and
gig.
worse.
I remember doing a gig with him, but I still lived in Jersey. But it's like weird. You remember the guys you share a room with?
You shared a room with him once?
I did, yeah.
I'm sorry. That was probably one of my gigs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We shared a room.
I had the Uptown Comedy Club in Lancaster.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was a Selman gig, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
That was a nice gig.
Did that pay $70 too?
I actually got paid a fee for booking that, so people got paid more money to do
We
that.
did okay there.
I don't know about that.
I met this waitress, this barmaid there that was hot. and I hooked up with her. I mean, I was so pleased with her. I was thinking about like moving to Lancaster and giving this all up, but then I came and I said, I don't think so. but she was
Phil,
hot.
you're
She
a
was hot.
roman-
That
you're-
girl was hot.
You're romantic.
He
All
is.
these one-night
I
stands
am a
and-
romantic.
You're a romantic guy.
Yeah,
On some level, right?
On some level, yeah.
Vermont teddy bears, punch
Yeah.
cards.
Never again. Never again. with
Sending
a
a Vermont teddy bear to a woman with a paralyzed husband is the fucking greatest
I
thing
should
I've ever
have. I
heard.
should have sent it in a little wheelchair.
I just said that.
Did you say that?
Yeah, before.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Phil, do
We're
you,
thinking on the same level there.
Phil, do you think you have Hall of Fame numbers over all the girls that you've slept with? Like you?
Numbers? You mean high numbers?
Yeah, high number.
Yeah, I got high. I have pretty high numbers.
You banged
How
a
many
lot.
do you think?
How
if
many
you could
would
guess.
Over 100?
It's over 300.
Over 300. Is that including
Wow.
hookers or no hookers?
Of course, it includes hookers.
Okay.
Is that different? What do we have? Different categories? What are you fucking rating my fucking sex life history here?
Yeah,
Just
well,
because you
hooker-
haven't been with hookers, it doesn't mean. Just think what your numbers would be if you were with hookers.
Well, the hookers
kinda-
is almost like it's like a.
How many women have you been with?
beaten
How many have you been with?
Wait, it's like beating out a grounder
How many-
and you get a single. It's not up the middle, a fucking sharp hit. You
It is
still
a
got on
different.
base.
It is a. You got on base, or it's,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's be honest. It's like
How many
buying
women have you
followers
been
on
with?
Twitter.
I don't know,
you
but you're
You
over
don't-
300.
Yeah, I'm over 300.
Nice.
What's that, Sam?
It's like buying followers on Twitter. Like, yeah, you have the number.
No, it's not
but
like
you
buying
didn't
followers
earn-
on Twitter. What the fuck is the matter with him? Where's
You
he
didn't
think-
earn
where's he-
anything.
Where's he thinking, this guy? Jesus,
You didn't-
buying
you didn't-
followers on Twitter.
You didn't earn the followers.
I didn't
you
earn it. I
just-
paid for them. That's more than earning it. I fucking paid for it.
Oh, all right, all right. I'm just
Earn it.
saying.
I didn't earn it.
Like, if you try to send one of your fake followers a Vermont teddy
I don't
bear,
have
it's
any
probably gonna
fake
get a-
followers.
Oh, all right, all right.
I have no fake. I have 800. You know something? It's funny. The last time when I was on here, I got like 900 followers.
You did?
Literally, I did.
Oh, that's
the
awesome.
power of show business. I'm not paying for followers.
Well, what's your Twitter account so people can follow you if they didn't follow
Phil
you last
Selman.
time?
Phil Selman at Twitter. Phil Selman at Instagram. Phil Selman on.
You got to keep
all of them.
a little more active though on Phil Selman on Twitter, because I was looking at it and you had a good run for a while. You were tweeting jokes, you were doing all this stuff, but I feel like now you're at this space where you're tweeting like one joke a month, and that's all you're doing.
Did you get sick of it after a while?
No. I just said nobody cares what I'm doing. Nobody responds. I don't.
Now
I
with
get the
that
little heart
attitude.
shapes from Florentine if they don't going to be on here. I got the guy doesn't want to talk to me, but he's sending me little heart shapes.
Well, I would have sent you Vermont teddy bear, but
Phil, how many times have you been with two women at the same time? You said you've been with two. Was that like a one-time thing?
Twice.
Or was
Twice.
You've been in two different threesomes?
Yes. Yeah,
How'd it work
I
out?
dated. Actually, the girl who was the dominatrix. We had a porn star. We actually had a porn star with us, and it was too much. I have to say, it was just about too much for me.
Was the dominatrix? Was she? Would she spank you? Or was she
No,
dominate you?
I wasn't into that stuff.
No?
But she would do that with her people. Like she would like people would like on the glass table and take a shit on it and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
good girl.
Yeah,
Sure, I respect that.
Her name was Gigi.
That was her
Did
real
you-
name.
Her real name was Sherry Lynn. It's funny. I brought her back to my house once, and we thought she was dead. So me and my mother were saying, "Well, we'll cut up her parts and put them in garbage bags," because I couldn't rouse her. She was like, "Well, from the pills or whatever." I literally thought she was dead in my bed.
But she woke up.
But she woke up. Yeah, because
Okay,
said
thank God.
nobody saw her coming. We'll just cut up the parts and toss it.
did you fuck her when she was
No,
passed out?
not that would ever stop me, but no, I did not.
Have you ever gotten into the...
Oh, you know, so the first time I met
Oh.
her, I met her at the Limelight, and we went back to her house. I came 23 times.
What?
Come on.
I swear to God, I came 23 times, and I inflamed my prostate. I had to go to the doctor. It felt like torn paper. I literally
23
came
times?
20.
And
I
how
came
long?
20 in like
Yeah.
an 8-hour period.
Oh,
I
my
literally came
God.
23 times,
So-
and my car got towed. When I came out there, my car had been towed, but I guess it was worth it.
So wait a minute. So you banged her that many times? You could
Yeah,
just.
in one, yeah, I kept because the thing is, when it got daylight, there were naked pictures of women on the wall. So I go, "Where am I?" I'm very pleased.
You were happy.
I was very happy.
23
I
times.
swear to God, I came 20, but I inflamed my prostate. It felt like torn. It felt like torn paper down there.
I mean, I can't even imagine that you were still enjoying it after like 19, 20, 21.
I enjoyed it every time. It was free.
Wow.
Were you banging? could you bang for a long time?
Yeah, I can go for a fairly long time. Yes.
With a condom or without?
Either or.
Especially if you're doing it I mean, you know, the 18th time, you're probably really lasting.
I guess, but I was chafed, and as I said, and inflamed because I went to the doctor, and he goes, "You can't come that many times."
Did you come? Were you wearing a condom with her?
No.
Did you come in her?
So
Yeah, of course. I came in her. I came on her. I came on the pictures. I came everywhere. I came when they towed. And the best part, when my car was towed, I go there, and this fat black woman thought I was Jerry Seinfeld, and she rushed me through. She goes, "You, Jerry Seinfeld." Whatever works.
so you were chafed and inflamed, but very pleased.
Very pleased.
I see.
What about the second time you had the two girls?
The second time was also somebody that was that through her, another one of her friends.
Oh, okay.
She hooked me up that one there.
Why'd you break up with her?
I think she broke up with me. I don't know, because she was just too. Got to be too.
Yeah,
much.
I would think so.
This is years ago.
After I thought she was dead, that's literally when I thought she was dead in my bed. It was like a little.
Oh,
And she kind of got heavy. She gained a bit of weight.
So you didn't like her anymore?
I didn't like her anymore. I didn't like her anymore.
She put some pounds on.
Probably all the loads you pumped into her.
I think she stopped doing coke or whatever. But she was real hot initially, but then she wasn't so attractive. I remember I remember the days of the toll booth. She would like to blow me while I would be paying the toll.
She did.
Wow.
Yes.
Did that bother you?
Not at all.
I couldn't do it.
I don't care. You know, whatever. What do I mean, I've never filmed myself because God forbid I may want to run for political office one day. But I don't care.
Did any of the guys ever say anything at the toll booth?
No, they enjoyed it.
They did.
I remember one time the guy goes, "Just go through. Just go through." It was like the guy was pleased.
I think of Florentine so many times going through you faking the tosses with the coins. Watching you like you do the hand motion.
I used to do that. I may have taught you that. I used to
Probably,
do that.
I would never pay
I used to
him.
do that. Yeah, I never paid it. I used to do that.
How the bell would go off. You just,
just
before
the
cameras.
motion, before the cameras, just like
You just pretend
motion.
you throw it in. You just keep driving.
I missed.
So you're saying that the guy wouldn't come out of the booth?
No, there was
because
nobody
he
in
saw
there.
you.
It was like an exact change
Exact
one
change
for 35
ones,
cents or whatever.
And those
so-
bells would go that loud a fucking alarm.
Yeah, and you just
as
keep
long
driving.
as you did. Yeah, that's great.
I bet you there's like a mural of me at that toll booth there.
For getting blown?
For getting blown there, I think at mile point 123.
How come you don't?
Someone came.
How come you don't book gigs anymore? Is there just nothing available?
There's nothing available. I grew to hate the people that own the clubs and then all the comics. People don't want to pay money anymore. So I don't, occasionally, but I just don't do it anymore. I got burnt out. I had 31 nighters back in in like 8 states with Ross. We were the biggest, and I just got burnt out.
You did. When did it start to change? When did you go like, fuck, these are going away?
I guess.
Well, what is the
I'd say
business?
right, but I come in 1991 is when it
Well,
started.
explain the business for people who don't know, like one-nighters. Like, how does it work? You don't own the club, but
You get somebody.
what-
Here's a budget. Here's a budget of X amount of dollars, and we'll do a show with 3 comedians.
And
An
then-
hour and a half show.
And you send them to the restaurant or to the bar.
Yes. Send them
Yeah, the bar would give you like $500 and go. We went 3
I had
comedians.
a lot of budgets that were $300.
300 on a Wednesday night, and give us 3 comedians. We'll do it every Wednesday night. So he had a ton of them.
So
him and his partner.
the bar gives you bar would give Phil
I would
$500.
get a budget. Well,
Yeah.
On the high end, it was $500. It was like $350.
I
used
get
to
it.
shoot
So-
for like $350.
It was a one-nighter.
Yeah.
They'd give you like $350. You get a couple comedians, give them each like $15,
No,
and then
50. It keeps lowering it.
oh,
50, 60, $70.
just making sure you got a nice chunk to keep
Well, I
for
wanted to
yourself.
make,
you
so
know?
me and Ross could each make like $75, at least 150 or 200, and depending if there was an agent, and an agent had to
I
get
see.
a cut. Because sometimes there'd be like 3 or 4 people involved in these things, so everybody's getting a piece of the pie.
Driving up there to those fucking one-nighters, man, and you get out and like you had no idea it was just gonna be good. Is just not, especially if it was one that was new, like a new one-nighter. It was such everything was unpredictable. It
A
wasn't
lot of
like
times they
clubs.
wouldn't shut the TVs off,
Yeah.
especially if there was a sporting event going on. I remember down in Philly or whatever, if the Flyers or the Sixers were in the playoffs, they wouldn't shut the TV off and start the comedy show. So everyone's
That's
just watching the
terrible.
TVs above you.
I just did a gig in Watertown, Connecticut a couple of weeks ago, and it just reminded me of like a shitty gig I would book, because the guy goes, "I'm not going to turn the sound off in the next room, and you could hear everything."
Why wouldn't he turn the
I
sound
don't know. He
off?
goes, "Well, they didn't pay for the show." I said, "Well, the people who did pay for the show aren't going to hear the fucking show because of the loud music on the other side."
This is recently?
This was a couple of weeks ago. I destroyed. I sold 1.5 DVDs after the show. It was a good night.
But he wouldn't turn it
He
off.
wouldn't turn it off.
He was the manager?
He was the owner.
What an ass.
He was an ass.
So
yeah.
he sabotaged his own fucking show?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
'Cause they didn't pay for the
It was
show.
a sports bar. It was a sports bar, and they had TVs. The TV was on like the TV farthest away, like, and it bothers me because I'll focus in on like that, and you say, turn every fucking TV off.
Did he turn the volume off?
Of the TV, yes.
Oh, the
Yeah,
volume.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think you meant the TV volume.
No,
on.
no. I'm saying they had loud music, like the jukebox in the other part of the room, and there was like a piece of glass that was halfway. It didn't separate the room perfectly, so you could hear the noise coming through.
Yeah, it's the worst.
But I got up there and I started screaming and crying. I had a guy right off the bat, and I just put him away. And I said, I hope you piss blood, and that pretty much shut him down.
Wow.
That always shuts them down.
It does, right?
It does. That's about
Is
the
that the
nastiest thing
opening
you can
line?
say to him. No, when the guy got right off the bat, the guy shouting shit at me.
Right.
I just started
What did he say?
He just, I said, shut the fuck up, you piece. I hope you piss blood. And that was it. What do you say to that? That
killed, right?
It killed. It kills. I wrote that. And I can say that because I did piss blood once, and it was horrifying.
Why'd you piss blood?
I don't know. It was when I was the 23-year-old. I don't know. Maybe one of her fucking Fruity Pebbles got stuck in my cock or something. And then I had this test where they put a camera up your pee hole. I don't recommend that.
It hurts.
It was horrifying. Have you had that done before? Oh my God, it's horrifying.
No.
You were not
I felt
pleased?
like I was bleeding, and I felt like I was raped. And the anesthesiologist was going, "What do you think of Sebastian Maniscalco? I think you should turn up the fucking juice. I don't want to hear anything."
Do you know Sebastian?
No, I do not. What did he play in The
He
Irishman?
played
he
Joey
had a good
Gallo.
role.
He was in my scene.
Okay. Oh, yeah. He was threatening to kill.
He was good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was good.
Yeah, he did. He did another film, so he's got probably a good.
He was in
acting
that movie that won Moonlight. No, not Moonlight. The one that won the award
Yeah.
last year. About the black.
I didn't see it, but
it
yeah.
was a good movie.
The
Green Book.
The
Green Book. That was a good movie.
Green Book, yeah.
I didn't see it.
So why did you have
Yeah.
the camera up your pee hole?
Because from peeing blood, you wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong.
So
And
what was it? What was the
nothing.
thing?
There was not. He said maybe I could have passed a little stone. Maybe it was like a little kid a little stone or something.
It's concerning, though, right?
Yeah, it was very disturbing. You can see blood coming out of there. It's sorry because he gave me like every test, and then he died like 2 months later.
Jesus.
And that was pretty disturbing.
You have a lot of people around you that die.
I think a lot of people are dying in general. I don't believe I have anything to do with that.
Well, I mean, you come on and we've been talking to you for like an hour, and you've mentioned at least 15 people that have died.
I'm fucking old. People are dying around me. I'm
Hey,
fucking
now you're
old.
48.
I'm fucking old. That's right. I'm 48 in dog years. Count the rings around my cock, as Otto would say. Or in Voss's, count the rings around his tattoos. Voss, you never get your teeth and your tattoos done at the same place.
You wish death on Artie
I shared
Fletcher.
a room with Voss with his
Yeah, I
first
did.
wife. I mean, we shared a room when he had with the first wife. I shared a room with him, and I remember in Allentown.
Wow. That's early
That was
90s.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, that was the 80s. That was a long time ago. And then I remember I
Voss-
worked with Ron Bennington. I did a show with Ron Bennington and a hypnotist, and there were like 8 people at this place, and there was nobody for the guy to hypnotize, so it was a very short show.
When was this?
And Ron Bennington's going, "That guy's not a real hypnotist. There are no fucking real hypnotists."
In the 80s?
It was in the 80s, yeah.
Ron's
He's never had me on his show. He's never had me on his show.
Ron
I
down in
get
Florida? Because
no,
Ron,
no, he was up here. This
Oh,
was
he
before
was.
he went down to Florida. It was a
Okay.
long, long time ago.
He's doing the Creep
Ron's
for the
on
Kids
tour.
tour.
he's
Yeah,
amazing,
Jim's a
man.
funny
on stage.
stand-up, man.
Holy shit.
He's funny.
Murdering up there every night.
He is, right?
Yeah. He's great.
Who
Also,
closed?
Ron knows
Somebody
you.
different person. I mean, he remembered me from the day. He mentioned my name. He'd remember.
I'll
me from the
mention
day.
it. I'm going to see him on
Maybe I
Friday.
can go on a second show in this building.
I'll definitely
Yeah.
mention him.
Who headlines that show?
Robert Kelly will go on last.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
got
I
energy.
don't know him. He's the only one that I don't know out of the.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Robert's great.
He's
Does
he
Voss
murders
host?
too.
Does Voss
Yeah,
host?
Voss. Yeah, he likes to host. Voss. Voss is a great host.
He is,
So
right?
is there any place where people can go to see some of your brand of stand-up humor? Because, there's a lot of people out there listening that may not...
This Saturday I'll be at Tiff's in Morris Plains, New Jersey with Bob Levy, 9 o'clock show.
But is there a
December
spot
20th
on-
and 21st. What do you mean? Well, on the Christmas Eve, I will be doing the Jewish show at the Broadway Comedy Club.
But what about on the internet? Is there any,
Yeah, I got videos on philselman.com,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
corporateroaster.com. I have a YouTube channel, Phil Selman. You can see me playing in a black church with a choir behind me.
I thought Jeff Ross was the corporate roaster.
Anyway. I just have the name. He's the.
So you think you're a better roaster
Yes.
than Jeff Ross?
We booed him off at my parties. We booed him off. There were 2 people I had to tell to stop calling me because I couldn't use them. It was him and Bobby Allen Brooks and Shara Sampson.
Who are they?
Bobby Allen Brooks helps the real Kramer do the Kramer reality tour. You know the Kramer reality tour that they won the
No.
weekends? Yeah, he
That the character
Kenny
is based
Kramer, the
on.
real Kramer, Kenny Kramer, who was a comic. He has a bus and he takes them to all the locations from Seinfeld.
Wow,
And
really?
he charges like $100 and something for it.
So he makes a living in doing
Yeah, he
it.
makes a living doing that. Yeah.
Good for him, though. They took his name.
Why'd you tell Jeff Ross
Because
not
he
to
was
call
terrible. He was terrible back in those days.
you? Okay, so maybe he wasn't good in the beginning, but I mean now
He's
you're
still not funny. Talent has nothing to do with it. We're being
Did you
funny.
see Bumping Mics on Netflix with Jeff Ross
I don't
and
have
David
Netflix.
Tell?
I don't have Netflix.
Oh.
And
He's
that's why,
great.
because he's got some
He's
fucking thing
great.
called bumping mics. Because I'm not part
And
of
he's
that.
got historical roasts too. He's got 2
Oh
Netflix
yeah,
shows.
why don't you blow him, Sam? Maybe you can fucking go
I just think
take a
he's-
direct flight and go blow him when you leave the little bunker.
I just don't understand. If you're better than him, how come he does all the roast shows
Because
that
he
I
was
see?
in the Friars Club. He schmoozed. I was a member of the Friars Club, and every time I went there, I was the most famous person there.
You didn't like it?
It was terrible. It was horrific. It just, and then when they had that trouble, I just got out of there. And I'd already stopped drinking. Maybe if I was drinking, I might have liked it, but couldn't stand it. People like 105 years old. In that
I
place.
know. I never. I've gone there a couple times for lunch. I always liked it, but I can't.
Yeah,
go
they always
there.
wanted the younger guys to join. I never.
They
Yeah,
did.
Jeff was one who
Yeah,
joined
he was,
early
he
on.
was able.
He
Lisa
was good.
got
Lisa
the network
Lampanelli,
out of
yeah.
there. Some people were able to network and get stuff out.
Isn't
of
it
there.
also to the fact that they wanted you? I heard with a lot of the guys, they don't push you to wear suit jackets anymore, because that was what a lot of the younger guys.
Well, they
were
had
going
they
to
had the jackets for you to wear when you go in there. I think they still would want you to wear a jacket. When
No,
you go in
they
there.
would, yeah.
I think so.
I think I had one on when I went. I saw Dennis Farina there. That was kind
I
of.
saw Dennis Farina in there too when he was doing Law and Order. That's where he was in there all the time. And the radio chick, remember the radio chick? I saw her.
Leslie,
in there.
yeah, I like Leslie,
I saw
yeah.
her in there too. And I saw Freddie Roman like once.
You did.
The interesting thing was when I got sworn in, Alan King had signed the paperwork, but he'd been dead for 3 years. How did he know I was going to be joining?
They probably pre-signed a bunch.
Sam, another guy that died around Phil.
Alan
I
King
know,
was
I
100
can't
years old.
believe-
Stop that. Another guy
Right.
who died. No, nobody's actually died around me. I did have a period where I met all these people that died. I met Jerry Garcia 2 weeks before he died. I met Belushi a month before he died. And I met Divine a couple of weeks before it died.
Where did you meet Garcia?
At this, there used to be a place called Tattoo. There was a club called Tattoo on 50th Street.
Oh, it
It
was
like
in
a
New York.
disco. It was a disco.
Did you talk to him?
Briefly. He didn't.
Did you get
want-
weed from him?
No, he didn't want to be bothered with me.
He didn't.
No,
What'd you say to him?
didn't. I said hello, and he reacted like Adam Sandler at a bar mitzvah. Keep walking. Like maybe he won't see us.
Not happy
I
to
just-
see you.
He was like kind of out of it, And then, as I said, and Belushi was already. He was like gray. I had Categorizing Story. He had like this grayish hue to him.
Did he?
And I hung out with Robin. The first time I went to Catch a Rising Star, Robin Williams comes up and he goes, "I think you're
He's
very
dead
funny."
too.
Let me finish my fucking story. And so we go back to the Pierre Hotel, me, him, and my friend. He was making the World According to Garp at the time, to tell you how long ago this was.
Yes.
We hung out all night, like, doing drugs, and he goes, "Call me tomorrow, I'm going to take care of you." I called him, he checked out of the hotel.
Oh no.
He never took care of you.
He never took care of me. He would be friendly when he would see me, but...
He was always nice.
He had this odor. I have to say, he was a gamey man. He had a gamey odor to him.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And he was a very hairy man also, I might add.
He
But-
was.
And I would see him like at the clubs. He goes, "Oh, how you doing? We got to get together." Yeah. And he never took any of my material, so I guess he really didn't like me.
Well, I guess that's almost it for today.
Yeah, I just don't understand. This is what I'm trying to like put together. How can you have like you've had such a life so far, Phil, and it's far.
Is
from
that what you
over,
want to
but-
call it? Such a life?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a life. You've interacted with so many people, but you have so many people in your life that are now dead. And
There were so many. There are a lot of people in your life that are dead too. We all
Not
know
this
people that
many.
are dying. We all know people who are dying.
But like so many people in your life that are dead, and then the people that are alive
Are not
none of
helping
them will
me.
talk to you. No, but they won't even talk to you. How did that happen?
I don't know. I guess I never learned how to win friends and influence people.
See, I feel like you're not taking personal
I
responsibility.
am
but
taking
that's just-
personal responsibility. I admit I was a prick in the earlier days. I was not a nice guy. I've gotten, as I get older, I don't let stuff bother me as much anymore. I don't call people and curse them out anymore. I realize it's not worth doing that. I'm not.
Do you used
Why
to
are you
do that?
laughing at that, Florentine? Yes, I did used to do that. Yes, I did. I hope you die. I sent that to you in an email, and
He did.
it's never been the same. It was never the same after
I
that.
never got mad about that.
Oh, you ever got mad? You turned on me. You go, "That's not right." That's I'm talking like him now. You were angry after I said that. I came from a place of love.
No, I know. Look, I liked you from the beginning. You were just fucking abrasive and cranky and miserable and bitter, and I loved it. I'm like, I love everything about this guy, just screaming at the audience. I love that shit.
Phil, I like you very much. I think you're very entertaining, and I'm very, very
Well, thank
interested
you. Hopefully,
in
I
you.
won't come back in another year and 3 months.
Was it that long
It
ago?
was that long.
All right, we'll make sure it's sooner.
A year and 2
luckily, I
months.
mean-
A year and 2
Yeah,
months.
we'll have you back sooner.
I know. Luckily, we didn't miss much.
I don't like him. I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Well, Phil, you can see Phil with Bobby Levy
At Tiff's and Morris Plains at 9 o'clock this Saturday.
this Saturday night. That's a great show. And when Christmas
and then December 20th and 21st at Fat Boys in Houston. And then December 24th at the Broadway Comedy Club, the Jewish Christmas Eve shows.
And Jim is touring Creeps with Kids.
Yeah, this Friday night, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Saturday, Rahway, New Jersey. CreepsWithKidsTour.com.
All right, great. And who we have tomorrow?
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have a loaded show tomorrow.
Oh,
though.
Sam Morril? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, man. Thanks, Phil. And Jim, always good to see you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
You guys
Sam,
are
have a
great.
safe flight. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.